Hi everyone, this is GoGo DM and welcome to tonight's episode of Perilous Pursuits. Before we begin, we'd like to shout out to our Perilous partners, Describe. For those who don't know what Describe is, and that's spelled DSCRYB, it's a website resource for DMs where you can search a database for thousands of pieces of information to help you describe things to your players. For instance, you could search for a place, an item, a creature, or situation, and Describe will put up a professionally written box text on your screen that you can read to your players. Now, these box texts are just amazing how well written they are, and they really raise the level of your game for your players' theater of the mind. We have used Describe in our games, and our players have loved it. It's really an amazing tool for every DM, so I'd highly recommend you go check them out. So we have a link in our description, and if you decide you would like to subscribe to their service, use the coupon code PERILOUS at checkout, and to get an additional 10% discount. So thank you again to our Perilous partner, Describe. And now, let's go ahead with tonight's episode of Perilous Pursuits.
Hello everyone, you are listening to Perilous Pursuits, a live D&D podcast where a bunch of us nerdy-ass friends sit around and play D&D. In this chapter, we follow the adventures of the Menagerie. Warning, some content may not be suitable for all audiences. And now, let's jump into tonight's episode of Perilous Pursuits.
Okay, why don't we get started here? Is there someone who just recently listened to the episode who would like to give us a recap?
I think Ray just said he was listening.
I did just listen to it. I don't know if you're gonna like what my recap sounds like, but yeah, let's do it.
I think from your perspective would be the best, actually.
Yeah. Andros can't say it.
Ziff perspective.
Last thing we did was Dagger made me kill a guy who held a dagger to my throat, and so then now he's dead, and we're gonna run away. But before that, we made it to town, and that's about everything that happened. Oh, and also, Kriv got a glory hole.
Wait, what?
What? Oh yeah, Kriv got a shield called a glory hole.
Oh yeah, wait.
Oh yeah, the mirror shield.
Oh, the mirror shield. It was called the glory hole?
It's Dr. Bonnie approved.
Yeah, so that's basically my recap, I would say.
This is just how Ray tried. This is how you try to get out of the next one, by saying shit like that.
But it's all true. Everything I said was true. It's got to be from Ziff's perspective. He remembers. Oh, actually, Ziff didn't see the glory hole thing. Luckily.
You felt it.
Felt the tremor in the force.
Yeah.
Okay, I think in the episode we left off with the three of you who were in a potion shop. Or you had just left the potion shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a bunch of magic stuff there.
We got the two sending stones. I want to put that in quotation. The red and blue one. A pouch of dust. And some gold
And
for
did
the
I get
Gaia's staff.
I'm pretty sure I got my brass brazier, didn't I? And the incense.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
And you got the incense as well.
Did you guys get the white dye? Or the bleach?
I'm going to work on that now, so don't worry about that. It's in my notes.
Okay. And you guys left Andros with Dagger and Ziff in the room.
Yes.
Poor Andros.
I know. I felt bad, but we needed to
Had
go
to be
out.
done.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, where do you guys go from here?
Well,
Are we starting with the people in the room, or we
You want to run first, Mr. DM?
Yeah, let's continue with the 3 that were out shopping. Let's continue with their arc right now.
Okay. All right.
I say, before we do any... Oh, we should buy things, obviously, if you want. I want to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, we still need to get some clothes for Andros and Dagger.
I can... With this brazier that I bought, I can create a phase spirit. I can bring it into a physical form, and we can use that to spy.
DM, can I have a more to my list that I gave to Orlear?
Yeah, you can. Anything that you would have written down or given to him as a list of things to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I have to tell him, or do I just give you some gold later? These are basic items that I texted you earlier today. Is that okay? Mr. DM?
Yeah, that's fine as long as Orlear is going to purchase them.
Okay. Do you want me to say what they were, or?
As long as Art knows. If you got it on a list somewhere.
Okay, I'll send it over to Art.
Okay.
I'll do it in Messenger.
Yeah, you can either or is fine. Well, we need to go up to the dock wards, and on our way we need to stop at some clothing, and I need to get dye or ink from the tattoo shop for Dagger, so that we can, dye his fur at least.
Yeah.
So if you maybe want to take, I don't know, maybe 10 gold from what Dagger gave me, Varn, and you can get some winter clothing for him, and maybe you and Ziff, not Ziff, Kriv, want to buy some clothes for Andros as well. I can go and do the docks by myself if we want to just maybe expedite this.
Oh.
We can all go together. It's no matter to me.
How much, why can't I think of the word? How much flexibility do you think Andros has with his, nose? Because he's going to have to hide it under a cloak.
I mean...
Can he wrap it around his head?
It's pretty flexible, I would think. I've seen him we watched him, you saw him kiss that girl at Oakhurst.
Yeah.
And she liked it.
I can do things with this trunk that you wouldn't believe.
It's really nice trunk, I wish I had a trunk like that.
I don't know, but it ends right in my face, so it's pretty hard to hide it.
So, I mean, he's 8 foot tall, he's got a 72-inch waist. I mean, the rest, you can just take proportions from that and just buy some sheets and just get them sewn together.
Mm-hmm.
But they do need winter clothing.
Too bad it's not something you can just, clip off and grow back or something. That would have been a lot more easy. Simple.
He hasn't tried.
Would have been simple.
It would hurt, but still, it would be, I don't know. Let's get that clothing.
Yeah. I can give you the money from, some of the money from Andros, because here's 10 gold, or 15 even, to buy all the winter clothing, and Dagger needed the winter clothing as well, and the dye, and I think the dye is going to be pretty expensive, so I'll give you 10 of his gold as well.
So 20 gold altogether?
Yeah, to buy winter clothes for Dagger and Andros.
Okay. And do you know anywhere in the town, the city, that sells clothes?
I've never been here before. I mean, I figured we'll probably find a place on our way to the docks where I'm going.
Oh, sorry, I kind of got messed up with what Andros said and you. Sorry.
Well, that's okay.
Alright, I just texted you.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I probably can do that as well.
And Kriv, what are you up to? You're hanging out with these guys?
Yeah, I'll just
what do you want to do?
I'll hang out with Varn and help him get his stuff.
Okay.
Sure, yeah.
Are you going to buy a face covering for Andros?
Yeah, one of those, like, Arabic ones that they wear in, like, the desert so they keep the sand off their face.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
I could be,
well,
I could be a sheik.
Yep.
If you wander about the market district here, it won't be too hard to find the right shops if you spend the time to find the places that sell the items that you're looking for. Right? This is the middle of the day, or not middle, but say morning here, and the market is a bustle, and there are people selling wares, and so if you just keep your ears peeled, you'll hear, the shop owners who are selling their certain items that will step out into the street and hawk their wares. Where is it that you want to go first?
Well, eventually I need to get to the docks, but we probably want to stop at some, like, clothing merchants and whatnot on our way there.
Yeah, there's pretty much everything else is on your way there.
Okay.
Unless you're looking for, like, high-end items, that would be across the river. It'd be in the upper sector.
Earlier, we're probably not crossing over to the other sector while we're leaving, right?
No, we should try and
avoid such
maybe hurry up a little bit. I don't think we're in any dire straits here, but we need to...
I think we're in dire straits. They're going to be searching for places around the crime scene, won't they?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of half the reason I want to go to the docks, just to see what's going on.
Okay.
So I know I can be persuasive enough, but I just don't want to put any of you guys into a position where you have to, lie or be deceitful, and don't feel comfortable with that.
Well, I'm not good at lying, but persuading, so we can...
Yeah, you just let me help you there. I'll
leave the fancy words to you.
Appreciate
it. Let's go get some dresses for Andros.
Yeah, we need to get some moo-moos, that's for sure. I will also spend some of that time getting the items for Andros that he just texted me.
Okay, so you're on your way through the market, and as you pass some shops, you see a particular clothing shop. And you go into the clothing shop.
Big and tall.
Big boy. Bert's big boys.
Okay, and it's no, it's just
the tickle trunk.
Like it's the called the Tribune. And it has more than just clothing. It's kind of like a place where people will come and share a story or a tale, and someone will write it down. It'll be part of like a flyer. And then on the other half of the shop, they sell all sorts of knickknacks and like tourist keepsakes and things from the sea. And in the back, they have some clothing items. Who's walking in there? Who am I talking to?
Well, I have the money, so I might as well go in there.
We're all walk in as well.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably good for a bigger person to also come, since I'm not really used to shopping for other people of the bigger sizes.
All good. Be confident, it's Varn. We're here to help.
Why, hi there. My name is Ander Dorn. What can I get for you? Is this your first time in Neverwinter?
Oh, for me, somewhat.
Well, perhaps you'd like to buy one of these Nevercastle snow globes.
Oh, we're actually here to shop for some clothing for one of our friends.
Herb gets distracted with the gifts and wanders off in the store.
It's not a globe, it's a ball.
You're watching one of those pictures where you have to blur your eyes to see the image.
Cross-eyed.
A 3D illusion.
Okay, so at the back here, there's all sorts of clothing, warm clothing, fashion, something for the summertime. We're all out of stock right now. What is it that you're looking for? Something in the robes, or more of a leather work kind of thing?
Well, we have two friends. One of them would really like some nice heavy robes, because we're going north on our little trip.
Ah, you're headed to Luskin.
Yes.
Well, it can get quite cold up there.
Now, anybody asks him, they'll know where we're going.
Yeah, that's really great.
You're welcome.
You're not there. You're not there.
We're going with Dagger and Andros and Kriv and Fizz.
Well, if we're buying warm clothes, what are they going to think? That we're going upwards anyways. We're going to the north.
I didn't want warm clothes.
We do need a set of gnomish robes, some heavy cloaks for one of our large friends, almost like a small giant, I would say. Yeah, I think that'd be. He's like 8 feet tall. He's huge. And then I do need some other odds and ends, but I'll have to wander around and find them.
But also, I would like to get some nice winter clothing myself. Something nice and heavy. Don't deal with the cold well.
And he'll bring out a couple of different sizes and styles and let you try them on there in the store. Well, all of these to your liking. Is this something that you'd like? And the robes are not particularly flashy. They're not made of anything like fine silk. It's more wools and kind of like it's new materials, but they're not fancy. And so that's a small set of robes for
for my gnomish friend.
Well, usually it works better to have the customer come in and try it on themselves.
They're about the same size as Varn. They're roughly the same. They're just busy elsewhere in town.
Yeah.
Okay, well here, Cobalt, you try them on.
Okay. I'll put them on, and they fit, right? Or if we're, I don't know, different sizes.
Sure. No, the two of you are about the same size, so if they fit you, they'll fit him.
Okay.
Okay,
so we'll
you
buy
have
those robes.
sure the small robes are 5 silver pieces, and you want 2 sets of them.
Yeah, that would be good. Thank you.
Okay, and who's paying for this? Is this are you?
I'll pay for these. It's okay. I didn't give you the money for this one, Varn. It's quite all right.
Okay, and you needed something larger too?
Yes. He's about 8 feet tall, a big, huge giant of a man, and then he's got like a 72-inch waist. Huge.
And wow, that's I don't think I have anything that big. But I could maybe take these 2 items and sew them together.
Well, that's perfect.
It's going to take me a while, though. I have to have it fabricated on the spot here.
No problem. We can pick them up in an hour or so.
Sure. Yep. Give me a couple hours, and I'll have it ready for you. So the larger fitting clothing, which is a little more than like blankets that have been stitched together and refashioned so that it's like a ghost sheet, basically. It's not a plain color. It has some adornment to it, but for that and the alteration, it'll be 10 gold pieces.
That shouldn't be a problem. Ziff, I believe you have the gold for this.
You mean Varn, but yes, sorry. I do. All okay. Small people are the same person to you, aren't we?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
And I'll have to insist that you pay the money up front.
Okay, and I hand him the 10 gold. Well, I try to.
Okay. Is there anything else we can fancy you with? You there, looking at the trinkets. Is there something you want to try out? Something you're looking in particular for?
Your soul.
No, I'm just looking for a souvenir.
Oh, well, very popular is these little boats that we have, and when you put them in the water, then they kind of sail off on their own.
Sure, I'll take one of those. How much are they?
Oh, they're 2 coppers.
Oh.
You could buy one for your friends.
Yeah, I'll take 5 of them.
Okay. So you have these little boats, and they're no bigger than an envelope. But the way that they're fashioned, you put them in the water, and they can traverse, say, 50 feet before they kind of get too wet and sink into the water.
Awesome.
Varn, doesn't Dagger need some winter clothes as well?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I did give you some of his.
Pretty. Yeah.
Okay. Is there something else I can help you with? Anything else?
I would like. Would you say Daggers are the same size as you earlier, or?
I think I would have a rough approximation. I think he's a little bit more muscular than I am, but maybe a bit taller too.
Yeah, a tiny bit.
Yeah. So something for somebody just a little bit bigger than I am, and just a little bit more muscular.
Okay, well, you can try it on, and you can see if it fits you, but
sure.
I'm not held responsible if you're trying to buy clothes for someone and it doesn't fit.
No, that's fine. It's appreciated that you're trying to help us. Thank you.
It's a surprise gift for them.
Stab him in the eye.
You're not here.
Go back to your room.
Okay.
So I'll try on some of the clothes, and I'll make sure that they're a little bit bigger and more roomier, and that Dagger will be able to kind of zip around in them.
Okay, those ones will be 5 gold.
Oh, that's no problem. We've got 10 gold from him, so it shouldn't be a problem. Should we buy 2 sets, maybe, Varn?
Yes, let's buy 2 sets.
Okay.
Okay, 2 different colors, or
Absolutely,
or what are you thinking?
2 different colors.
Yeah.
What colors do you have?
Yeah, what colors do you have?
He's got a green, he's got like a black, and he's got a gray.
Let's do green
definitely
and gray.
think we should... Green and black?
Green and gray.
Green and gray it is. Good
Yeah,
choices,
sure.
Varn.
Okay.
They're different enough, so... Because you might...
So you get the green and the gray, and they're both fairly muted tones. They're nothing flashy.
Good.
That's good.
Okay, so that's 5 gold out of whoever's paying.
Me.
Okay. And 5 gold for the second pair.
Because I had the 10 gold, so I'm paying for both.
Okay, so 10 total.
And did I get mine yet? Did I get able to purchase mine yet? Or was that... No, that was...
Yours was the 5 silver for each of the small ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, while I'm here as well, I'll look for like a glass tube and a couple of beads and some string, and then maybe a thin chain as well.
And as if he had those already prepped and stocked, he just pulls them out and they're right there.
Oh, magical.
Well, they're not magical. They're just regular, but I am pretty good at my job.
You're so wonderfully quick at finding the things we need.
Well, thank you. By any chance, do you have a moment to maybe tell us of a tale, perhaps of one of your adventures? I would really like to add some flair to my my business, to my I have like a news kind of what's happening in Neverwinter, a little article that I put out, and I'm always looking for some fresh ideas. And when you adventurers come through, boy, I just would hope if you could just spend a few moments and tell me of your tales.
You can go on, Orlear.
You want me to do it? It's fine.
Yeah, I'd like you to do it.
Yes, that's not a problem. Do you want a tale of what we've gone through, or a tale of what kind?
Well, something that is true to life always really grips my readers. Something maybe recently that's happened to you, maybe something in the city. I mean, you know, the excitement of things that happen in the city is a really good thing that people want to hear about.
Oh, but sadly we haven't been here long enough for any big events to happen to us.
No? Oh, that's too bad. Well, perhaps you'll stay a while and enjoy Neverwinter for all its glory, and perhaps have a few tales to tell. Anything that's happened in your past?
Well, we could tell you about the Sunless Citadel. It's not truly it's more of an adventure story, though, so I don't know if you'd be that thrilled by it.
No, actually, I would love to. Let me just get my assistant here to take over the store, and you and I can do an interview.
Wait.
Okay, Varna, I'm here to help. It's all right.
It's just that recent events like pertaining to the Sun Citadel has also made me really stressed. So I'd like your help here earlier.
No problem.
Okay. I was thinking this could be something that Varn would like to sit and do, but if the two of you want to do, that's cool too. It's
I'll
not
sit
meant
back
to
and
be
let
it's not
Varn
meant to
do
be
it, but
let's rehash the story again. It's just meant to be a filler, so that there's time spent here recounting your story, and he can take down the details of your Sunless Citadel adventure.
Okay.
Anyone tuning in who would like to hear the Sunless Citadel, go back and listen to episodes 1 through 14.
It would be a lot better than our recap.
That should be your recap, Sif. Just go back to the last episode, everybody.
Be more useful than what I say.
No, it's not meant to tie up more time. I just wanted to have that, so now your story is being spread through Neverwinter of your adventures in the Sunless Citadel. Well, as soon as it's published.
The priests of Pallor would already talk about us, so giving them...
They might. They may or may not.
Hey, should we go to them? Maybe they can clear us of these crimes.
Don't think they have with one of our party members they're not really friendly with.
So you spend an hour talking to the guy in the store. He takes down some notes. And, Kriv comes around and adds his 2 bits worth. And, you all contribute to the retelling of the story. Thank you so much. You know what? This is a new startup business here, this news thing that I got going. But I'd really like to thank you for your time and for, sharing your story with me. So he offers you 5 gold in return for sharing your story. So, Varn, you can put that on your...
Go for the residuals.
120 gold now.
Okay. And you're off to another part of the market, or are you headed towards the docks, or...
Well, we need to get the paint.
Yeah, I think the tattoo shops would have the ink. That would be enough to dye Dagger's hair. So, let's go there.
What are we going to tell them why we're getting all that dye? Could we just say
I'm going to get a tattoo.
You're going to get a tattoo?
Yeah.
And,
I mean, why not? While here, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen, but
just make sure...
it might be a good segue of also being able to get some dye.
Also make sure you don't get it on spots that when you get older will sag.
Oh, yeah, no. Good job.
Also, I think we could just state that we're doing like a little art, like an art challenge or something, that one of us is an art student.
That's a good idea.
Unique mediums.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, so you're headed towards the dock.
Yeah.
And it's probably about 9 o'clock.
Is there a jeweler along the way from the Tribune clothing shop and trinkets to like a jeweler. I'll just pop in. Just hold on a second, guys. I just got to jump in here for Andros. It'll be just a moment.
Okay.
And I'll jump into the jeweler store and put the pieces together that I bought from the Tribune and ask the jeweler to make this item that Andros asked for.
Okay. Okay, you just want to skip through that? Or do you want to run that out? I'm ready to go if you want to.
Sure, we'll run it out. It's fine. We'll do it. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, I'll walk into the jeweler shop.
And
good morning.
so at the back of the store, there's a door with a curtain, and as you come in, the curtain opens, and you don't see anything. There's just the curtain opens and then it closes again. And
hello.
In behind the counter is a short gnome, and he has only one leg. And he says, "I see you have brought some things for me."
Yeah, I was hoping to get an item fashioned. I'll pull out the gold clip, the 2 beads, the glass tube, and then a thin chain as well. And pull out a feather. And I'll say I was hoping to get these put together in a way that the ring could hold the feather.
Yes, and he scribbles and scratches a rude kind of rough drawing on a napkin, and he says, and does the drawing look to your specifications?
I'll have to check if. I have a image that Andros has sketched down for me that I can send to you, Jason.
Okay, but how do you tell the shopkeep what that looks like?
Well, the little spectacle at the bottom and then a couple of beads, and then the glass tube so the feather can stick in it, and then a clip with a. Sorry, no, it's just not a spectacle. It's a clip to attach to the chain.
Okay, so the two of you talk about it. You write it all down on his napkin, and he holds up 4 fingers, but one of them is like missing a digit, like it's 3.5, but he's trying to tell you 4.
How much is it going to cost? Sorry.
And he holds up that hand of 4 fingers, but it's only 3.5.
4 gold? I'm sorry.
And then he turns his hand palm side up.
Oh, yeah, I can pull out 4 gold. Here's 4 gold. And if you could attach them all together, that'd be great.
Okay.
Do you want me to wait here, or do you want me to come back?
He just turns and walks back to his workbench, and he starts working on it right away. And you can see that it doesn't take him more than 3 minutes, and he's got all the items fashioned together. And then he walks back and places it gently on the counter, and then looks to the napkin drawing and then back to the finished, completed feather. And kind of bows.
Right? Oh, thank you so much. And I'll take the feather with the the chain and the beads and all of that stuff attached to it and put it back in my bag. It's appreciated, thank you.
Bye-bye.
And I'll walk back out to the group. Well, I expected to be in there much longer, but the little guy was fast. Didn't talk much, but he was fast. Well, Varn, Kriv, should we head down to the docks?
Yeah, we should get the ink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if this is how long it'll take for this to blow over.
I'm sure we can figure something out. And we'll head down to the docks.
Okay. As you walk from your location over to the dock ward, you pass the tavern that you're staying at, and it's like only one street away from the river, and the river's flowing out to the sea there. And as you, if you're looking at the map here, you can see that as you round the outside of that wall to head towards the dock area, there's the Temple of Pallor on your left. And it's a grand cathedral. It rises high in the sky, and there are holy symbols on the outside of it. Some that are like a crest and with a shining sun. There is a dock ward on the far side of the river, and there's one here on the close side of the river. Are you intending on crossing the river or staying on this side of the river?
I'll be just looking for the tattoo shop that the what was the guy's name from the Wispy Potion? Edom from the Wispy Potion. He would have told me. I asked where the tattoo shop was. Mm-hmm. Whoever he told me.
Okay, that'll be on the far side of the river.
Guess we're crossing over.
Okay. And while we're going to all these stores, I'm on the map. I'm making like a little legend on the back side with all like the stores on them.
Yeah, Varn picked up a tourist map at the Tribune, and he's now marking it up with, all the locations they've been and tracking how long it takes to get from this place to that place and how long the lineups were. You cross the river. It's quite wide. It's about 80 feet, this bridge. And it kind of arches over. And this is the last bridge before going out to sea. But there are areas in the bridge where small boats can still get through. And there's currently some logs that have been strapped together that are drifting down through, and there's a burly man who's riding on the logs as he's delivering them out to sea, where they have presumably a mill or somewhere they work them at the shipyards. And then ahead of you is on a hill, and is Castle Never. And the castle itself has its own wall system and structure and ramparts, and there's a pathway that steeply inclines that goes up towards the castle, and then off to the left it goes towards the northern dock ward, which is on the outside of the castle walls.
That's where Edom told me that the tattoo shops were?
Yeah. So you pass by the outside of the wall, and you stay next to to the coast.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can see that there are a number of different fish market, and there's places where people are having their boats repaired. There's people that are making nets, and there's its own sort of market, but it's very water related. And down near the end, there's a small shop, and you can see that it says the Rusty Anchor.
Is this the tattoo shop that Wisdom Edom was telling us about?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll walk into there.
Okay. Well, hello there. What can I do for you? And there's a large man.
Okay.
And he's got tattoos all the way up both arms, along the side of his neck, that you can see under kind of I guess you'd call it more like a sailor's jacket and a white collared shirt. The sleeves are rolled up to show his tattoos, and he's got his hair black and slicked back. Are you in the market for some ink?
By chance we are, actually. We're hoping two things you could help us with. I just learned that there was some magical tattoos that we could get from a vendor in Neverwinter. I'm presuming that's you?
Of course.
Ah, fantastic. The second is we're hoping to get some ink as well.
Well, that's just the only commodity I buy. Needles and ink.
That's wonderful. What kind of tattoos do you draw?
I can do tattoos in the shape of anything you wish. However, I do have some magical ink that I can use to imbue a special magical power. And if I use this magical ink, then you're surely to have the power of an adventurer.
Question, sir.
That's
sorry.
What we are. It's all right, Barn. Considering that's what we are looking. I specifically am looking to get one of those magical tattoos.
And how about you? And he looks over at Kriv and Varn.
I have a question about your magical tattoos. How do they work on scales? Because I know normal tattoos, they would just they would not be permanent in any way on scales. Most likely they wouldn't work, but how would the magic ones fare?
Oh, my boy. Magical tattoos, they penetrate and they dye even the hardest hide.
Okay. What the next question is, what effects does your magical tattoos apply on the tattooee? Tattooed?
Well, like I was saying earlier, I can do any shape, but for the magical ink that I have in store, I have a magical ink that increases the barrier of one's fortitude, and I have one that increases the absorbing ability And this one here, and he points to a jar that seems as if the liquid inside is swirling on its own. This is particularly for spellcasters.
Oh. What sort of specifics for spellcasters?
Well, this one, it allows you to cast a spell into the tattoo and then summon it out as you will it. And then after you summon the spell, then it has to recharge.
That's
quite interesting.
Yeah.
What does this spell? What do you mean by absorbing on that the other one?
Well, you see, if you get the absorbing one, depending on the color, it will resist certain elements, and it would corresponds to the color that I put in.
That is quite intriguing. Maybe getting that for the cold would be useful if we're going northward. Whoever has it would be warm.
Well,
that's true.
Maybe we should talk about price, because I don't know how much any of this costs, but the swirling ink one at the last one that increases, that can store a spell, how much for that one?
Well, my rate for magical tattoos is 100 gold per hour, because these take a while to do. So unless you got the coin, it's 100 gold per hour.
I have 100 gold, but what would you say about? And I present to him 15. Well, not all of them, obviously. I will present to him a white dragon scale from the first beast.
Would you like me to tattoo that scale?
Oh, I was wondering. Well, you probably wouldn't really care about the scales, but they might have magical properties.
Oh, the scale you think has magical properties?
Not innate, but most likely would be able to be used for certain spells, and as such, enchantments.
Are you offering it in trade?
Yes, obviously not for the full tattoo, but I have 50 others, 50 more scales.
Well, I'm sorry, I only deal in gold.
Well,
so our ink, I do deal in ink. Do you have any ink for sale?
Only ink for scribing. I made more gold in my bag of holding. Yeah, I have 311 gold in the bag of holding. Because we've been.
Is that from party gold or is that yours?
That's the party gold.
Okay. Well, I know I think I'm gonna get to use some of that spell storing ink on me. I've got 500 gold on me. Is that gonna be enough?
Yeah, that will be enough to start the process, and mind you, let me warn you that these kinds of tattoos are permanent, and they require a certain amount of attunement, that you align yourself with this tattoo, this process, and that is a permanent thing. So don't take this lightly.
No, what I have in mind is not light either, so I'm ready when you are.
And
Okay, so if you come up with a drawing or an image that you want, either look here from the books that I have, other people have chosen, or create one yourself and draw it on this paper here.
is there enough? Oh, sorry, Is there enough ink for 2 people to get the spell storing tattoo?
I have lots of ink. Do you have lots of gold?
Do you think, Orlear, it's okay if I take some of the money from, like, I will be using my money also, but some of the money from the bag of holding, I'll pay it back.
That's fine, Varn. If you're going to use it for helping the party with what the tattoo imbues you with, then absolutely, it should be spent. There is one other thing. We're hoping to get some white ink or dye, perhaps. Is that something that you could have?
I actually do have a white dye, but it is a very expensive white dye.
Well, we do have a bit of extra gold. How much for some of that dye?
Well, how much dye do you need?
Well, I'm an arts student, actually, and our professor has asked us to make an art piece with unconventional mediums, and I'd like to make a big portrait. I want to get an A, and I believe ink would be an interesting thing to practically only use. I have a black canvas, so.
All right. I just need to know how much you need so that I can give you a price on
20 gold worth of that ink or dye.
Okay. And he hands over it's like say it's the size of, it's a liter. Go with that. 20 gold will get you a liter's worth. Is that enough?
Yeah, I'm sure that's enough. You've been very generous. Thank you so much.
Okay. Now this is wholesale prices. I'm giving you a good deal.
I am aware. You are generous.
If we'll spread the word of your store. I can promise you that.
And Kriv, are you going to be in on this conversation? Are you interested in a tattoo?
No. Well, I don't have any money, so I can't afford one.
Well,
okay. And so what do you do in the shop while these guys are having the conversation? Or do you even come in the door? You standing out on the beach?
I'm just going to stand out by the door and rest my back onto it.
I'm going to be generous to Kriv, and I'm going to offer him one of my books, my special books, so he can read while we're waiting.
I grab it and hold it.
Are you
just
literate?
Look at the pictures?
Oh, there is a lot of pictures in that one, but there is also a lot of literature. I don't know. It is the literature is just your mind rolling after staring at the images.
Is it a written in common?
It's written in common. It's yeah.
And Kriv, can you read?
Yeah, I can read.
Okay.
But
so you read the book?
No, I just don't have any interest in reading a book right now. So I just put it under my arm and take it.
Okay. So the other two of you want to get tattoos,
Yes.
and you're willing to spend the time and the money for the spell rot.
Yeah. How much is it for the tattoos?
So I've based this off of 100 gold per hour, and the first hour gets you a common rarity, because there's only so big of a tattoo he can do in an hour, and you can decide where you want that placement and what you want it to look like. But then if you spend the 200 for the 2 hours, then you can get a tattoo that's a little bit larger, and that would get you like the uncommon variety. But the third hour is also spent on uncommon, so you can't tier up to the rare unless you pay for 4 hours. And then there's like a second tier of rare to get you the fifth, and so on and so on. So basically 200 gold per tier.
Except for the first tier.
Yeah, except for the first tier.
So first tier, first two tiers, because it goes normal, uncommon, and then it didn't go to rare yet. Sorry, I completely forgot how you did that. I have the memory of a dead
So the spell rot, I'm going to run it. Maybe it's a little bit different than how it is in the book, but I'm going to run it that the common, the first tier, is for 1 spell slot. And then the second tier is for 2 spell slots. And the third tier is for 3 spell slots. Or spell levels, I should say. So you use your slots to put the spells into the tattoo, and you can put up to if it's 3 slots, you can put up to 3rd level spells in it, but only 1 3rd level spell, or 3 1st level spells.
So uncommon would be 200. Can I also get the uncommon tattoo for spell storing and the resistance tattoo?
It's just going to cost you hours and money, right?
Yeah, I have the money.
Okay. You're going to get 2 tattoos, like 1 on each arm or something like that?
1 on each arm, yeah.
Okay, and then the resistance ones are going to give you, it's called absorbing tattoo, but it's going to give you a resistance versus whichever dye that he adds to that to make the color. So you have to pick which color, and basically it boils down to which elemental damage you want to resist.
I'm going to have it be white and the that tattoo. So it's cold, hopefully.
Blue is for cold.
Oh, blue is for cold. Then I'll take blue.
Okay. Okay, I have to look up whether that's going to be in the common area or tier or the uncommon tier to gain the resistance. Because otherwise we're going to be breaking this up. Instead of just halving the damage, it's going to be like percentile, and I don't want to go there.
Okay.
So you might have to say go to the second tier. It's going to cost you 200.
200? Okay. So I'm going to spend the 400 because I'm going to go into the uncommon for the spell storing.
Okay.
And
that's going to take 4 hours and cost $400.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. And Kriv doesn't want a tattoo. Earlier, what do you want?
I was hoping to spend 500 of just the spell storing.
Okay. Okay, so that will get you 3. That'll get you 3 levels in the spell story.
Okay, so all the way to...
So you're better off spending 400 on the... You still get 3 levels at $400.
Okay.
And then if you want to upgrade, it's going to cost you like $200 more. And at this tattoo shop, that's where it caps out. He can't give you a tattoo that's more rare than that.
Okay, so he can't go more than 400 gold.
He could go 500, but you're spending an extra $100 on flair. It's not going to give you any more.
I'll just spend 400 then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So both of you is $400 and 4 hours.
Yep.
So you guys spend the rest of the day at the tattoo shop. Kriv?
Yeah.
You're going to wait around for 8 hours, or you're going to figure out something else to do?
I will go back to the hotel or the inn.
Okay. Do you go right away, or do you hang out there for a bit? Once you know that their tattoos are going to take 8 hours.
Once I find out it's going to take long, then I give back the book and then head back to the hotel or the tavern.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
Okay. Oh, I rolled a 2.
Okay. With a 2, you notice that your boots are a little bit dirty from walking in the around the town today. That's what you noticed with the 2. Probably clean your boots off. Okay, you get back to the...
Becker, go look in your chat.
You get back to the tavern where the other guys... Let's just switch back to the other guys. Say it's been 8, 9, 10. Maybe it's been 3 hours that the guys were out in the market, and so that'll bring us up to the point where Kriv joins you. So what have you been doing in the last 3 hours? The 3 guys who have been locked in their room.
You're playing cards or something? I think I have a deck of cards, actually.
Dagger's been over by the window looking out the window to see what kind of escape routes there are. Which way does the window in the room look out?
Your window faces Neverwinter.
Yeah.
Looks over the river.
Does it look out the front of the building, or the entrance of the building, or does it look
out?
Yes,
the front of the building, which faces Neverwinter Castle.
Okay.
So you can see from your window, you can see across the street, there's a couple of residences, and then there's the water and the river that's flowing towards the west to the sea. That's really, you can see the castle really well. You see guards posted on the castle walls. And if you give me a perception check, you can kind of take note over the past 3 hours as to their activity.
My days. That is 11.
Okay. 11, you notice that there's a shift change that happens right at the stroke of noon. A bell goes off in a chapel somewhere in the city, perhaps even down the street at the Temple of Pallor. And when 12 bells goes, there's a shift change. And it's not even 12 o'clock yet. What am I talking about? It's say you notice the shift change at 10 o'clock because it's 10 o'clock now. So that's when the shift change happens, and you notice that. Okay, so take note that there's a shift change at 10 o'clock.
And this whole time I've been going through a ration of tree nuts and just throwing the empty shells at Dagger, so like the floor is littered with nut shells.
So I want to keep, like, I'm going to see if, is there like rooftops next to the rooftops that I could jump to?
If you went out onto the roof,
Yeah.
then you can go to the east side of the building, and there's a little shed that some people like tie up their horses. Like it's not like a whole stable; it's just like a little stall, and you could jump to that if you wanted.
Okay.
It's much lower than the building you're. It's like, well, like it would be a one-story shelter, and you're on a two-story building, so you could jump to it, but you wouldn't be able to jump then from there to anywhere else. You could just jump to the ground.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep my eyes out, see if I see guards or anything moving into the building, or that's about it.
All day, all morning, you've seen the castle guard and the city watch dressed in these gray robes that you've seen before. They all have these gray cloaks over their armor, and they've been steadily like crossing that bridge that comes towards you and going into the southern dock ward and back and forth. There seems to be a commotion and a bustle. Something's happening down there by the beach.
Sure, it's fine. You should go.
Pretty sure you know what the commotion is.
No idea.
Okay, so are you guys just going to hang out till Kriv comes back, or are you going to...
Yeah, I'm hanging out. There's no way I'm stepping outside.
Dagger, I'm bored. Let's fucking go.
What about Ziv?
Where do you want to go?
I don't know. Let's go find a merchant to kill or something. That was fun.
No. That's not a good idea.
What? You taught me that.
Well,
I look it up to you.
I'll say at least.
Or Lear gets back and there's 3 more dead merchants.
Yeah, we'll bring them back here, and then they won't find them. It'll be great.
I'll say at least bring Kriv.
No, yeah, I suppose.
I don't say that.
Okay, well, I
think we got to get out of here. We got to
something
go
that
somewhere
happens
else
before Kriv gets back.
No?
Yeah, you guys don't know that I'm coming back.
Yeah. Let's get out of here.
Andros is just throwing tree nuts, empty tree nut shells at Dagger for hours. There's a giant pile of tree nut shells at the bottom of his feet.
He's just misunderstood. That's all.
Andros is silent, just muttering Ravnican swear words under his breath.
Okay, so nothing. You guys are hanging out. Dagger's doing his watch. Ziff, are you just sitting on the bed, or are you pestering someone, or are you keeping watch? Can I give you, what do you want to roll for?
I don't know. I think we should go. Let's go, guys. Come on. Man up. No? All right. I'll sit here and do nothing.
I just think we should lay low for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not here. They fucking will find us here.
I know
they
that,
watch-
but the other guys don't know where to find us if we just leave.
They're not part of our group. They didn't kill people with us.
Hey, don't say us.
We're exclusive.
Excuse me. It's a party for
What?
2. This is a party of 2.
Good work yesterday, Andros. I didn't know you had it in you.
Uh-huh. Is this the Menagerie?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, jeez.
All right, I'm just gonna sit and do nothing.
Okay, then Kriv walks in.
Hey, Crave, you want to go kill some guys?
What?
What? I thought that's kind of your calling card, right? Killing people randomly. We did it for you.
Not-
A tribute to you.
What? When was this?
Oh, we killed a merchant yesterday. Did nobody tell you?
What? Let's know what you
We
guys
did it
did
for Paul.
yesterday. No. What you guys did yesterday? You gotta keep. You gotta lay low.
Yeah, but what if we go somewhere else to a different place, like in the slums or something, or the rich area, and then
The
you tell everyone?
Only place that would be better than here would be out of the city.
Well, that was my original plan, but everybody disagreed with that.
And I present you with the paper boat that I got. Yeah, hey, I got a toy for you.
I don't know what you mean. What's a toy?
Well, something to do to occupy yourself when you have nothing else to do. Instead of killing merchants, you can play with this toy.
We did it for you.
No.
All right. Where's everyone else? What about my clothes? That was top priority.
Dagger and Varn are getting tattoos at the docks right now. So they're
So
gonna.
you're not
It's going to take.
Docks? You got my die?
Huh?
You have my die?
I do not have anything. They're
Well-
still at the tattoo shop.
Well, so they must be like seconds away from returning then. Otherwise, you would have brought the important things to us, right?
Unfortunately,
What?
it's it's going to take them like 8 hours to do their tattoo.
What the fuck is wrong with those guys? This is urgent, and they're gonna take 8 hours to do a tattoo.
Yeah,
They're getting a
So-
sleeve.
we're just kind of
Well,
waiting
we're
for
not
them.
waiting 8 hours for them, guys. Come on, that's ridiculous.
We have nowhere else to be though.
You want to split
anywhere
off into
that's
two
not here.
campaigns? We got dual campaigns going on now.
Tattoo boys and the murder boys.
I start on my second ration of nuts.
So yeah, I guess there's nothing really to do until we wait for them to be done.
Unless we get
you
arrested.
You hear a knock at the door.
Oh, that's great.
I shoo the other party members and open the door slightly and stick my head through and go, "Hello? Yes?"
If you guys are planning on staying another night, you're gonna have to settle up with the bartender downstairs. I'm just passing on a message.
Oh yes, slip my mind. I will make sure that happens.
I'll give
Well,
you,
it's got to happen now, or I gotta ask you guys to leave.
I give you 10 gold.
Okay. And I
10
take the
gold.
10 gold and sneak out and then close the door behind me. Go, okay, I'll go to the bartender right now.
Okay, and he escorts you downstairs to the bar, where you can settle your next night's stay. I think it was 12, actually.
It was.
12 gold?
It was 2 gold a room.
Yeah, I think it was 12 gold, 2 gold per person per night.
Well, we don't need the
Well,
other
we don't
ones.
need that many rooms anymore because we can't trust Andros on his own.
But it's per person, not per room.
Oh, okay.
So you can
I
have the extra rooms. They got lots of rooms.
count out my change and I say, "Oh, it seems that I'm a bit short. Can I run up to my room quickly and I'll be right back? You can have my uh my
10 gold.
my old shield as collateral."
Okay, takes the 10 gold and the old shield and puts it behind the bar.
You don't have any gold on
Perfect.
you?
No. I run up to the room and go, I need 2 more. I need 2 more gold to pay for the room for next night.
Okay, I give you 50 gold just so you have some gold.
Wow. Okay. That's way more than we needed, but okay.
What? Just so you have it.
I'll go down and give the 12 gold to the bartender and get my shield back.
Okay. Okay, so you're paid up. You can stay another night here in this tavern.
Mm-hmm. And I asked the bartender, what has he been hearing? Has there been any rumors around town?
Oh yeah, did you hear? There was Mr. McGuffin's runaway cart. They had it tied up, and it was just loaded with all kinds of manure. And they were about to take it out of town, and then the hitch came loose, and it slammed into the priest, the side of the temple, and it just made this huge big mess. And they're cleaning it up now. It is hilarious. You should go down and see it. It's great. Yeah.
A shitstorm.
Oh, that seems like a shitty situation.
It's holy shit.
Oh, that's great.
There's the
Yeah.
episode of the title. There's the
And,
episode title right
Holy
there.
Let me grab 5 beers from you, or 5 meads, please.
Well, what, are you taking them to go?
Oh yeah, I'm going to my room.
Oh, all right. 5?
5, please.
Okay, that's 5 silver.
Perfect.
And he pours them out for you. And how are you going to carry them all? Like, there's 5 beers. Are you going to try and carry them all at once?
Yeah. I'm going to put
Okay.
3 in one hand and 2 in the other.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that works.
And I go back to the room and go, "Hey guys, we're stuck in here for a little bit, but at least I got some mead."
Okay,
And hand out
roll
the
a
beers.
dexterity check. See if you spill any of those beers on your way upstairs.
Oh no.
Dex check. 15.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
we're-
manage all the way up the stairs.
We're getting
Easy,
drunk.
nice and slow, and get all the drops of beer upstairs. Okay, you and your crew are having beers in your
Andros-
room.
Andros sees it and just chugs it. Straight on chug.
Hmm.
Spear going down the sides of him, all his robes.
Okay, roll a Constitution check.
That's a 16.
Okay, you are doing just fine.
Your turn, Ziff.
I mean, I'm gonna enjoy my beer. I'm not an alcoholic.
Maybe if there's some blood in that mug, maybe it'd be a little quicker, eh?
I don't know what you mean by that. It sounds kind of racist.
You spill some blood. I'll stick to my mead.
I liked it better when you blamed Dagger the entire time. That seemed more appropriate. Why don't you go punch him?
I'm gonna. Are you persuading me? Can I roll something?
No.
Sure.
Oh,
What do you want to
were
roll?
fast to jump on that train.
Yeah. What are
The
you?
reaction.
Are we having like a fisticuffs here?
No, Ziff is trying to persuade me to punch Dagger.
Okay, so you can roll persuasion.
I'm not actually. He wants me to try to persuade him to do that.
Then I can blame you for that too.
What would your character do?
He would get up, roll up his sleeves, wait for a few seconds, and sit back down.
So we learned a valuable lesson today, didn't we?
Staying in the hotel room was a bad idea, and we got abandoned by our friends to tattoos.
If you kill random strangers,
Oh, that
you
was
get to sit
yesterday.
in a hotel room. Oh, that was yesterday.
Well, I don't think
Yesterday.
you really should talk about that because that's kind of your whole jam.
No.
Sounds like you're just jealous.
Yeah, I think so. I'm up 2-0 on you. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got 2 weeks banked.
I don't kill for the pleasure. I kill for bringing down power.
That's not what Ball wants you to kill for.
How? You don't know my deal with Ball.
No, but I know Ball as a god because it's one of the most evil gods in the world.
Yes.
So I know what Ball's into. Ball's deep.
Okay, do you guys want to take a 5-minute break?
Sure.
Okay, let's meet back in 5 minutes.
For the people that are getting tattoos, are you guys going to draw yours up?
Oh, I definitely am not, but I can describe what it looks like. How about that? Just because my name's art doesn't mean I have any talent in that field of department.
I'd have to say, like, actual tattoo artists are probably the best artists, considering they can't erase.
Be very careful.
I have seen so many bad tattoos. Like misspelled tattoos are probably the worst ones.
Yeah.
And
that
then you
would be
get
awful.
bad tattoos. Someone has actually tattooed their face, and it's a bad tattoo. It's like, oh
Oh,
my
bad.
god.
Ooh.
Bad enough you tattooed your face, but you get a bad one. Yeah. Yeah, it's a risky
What-
thing.
Yeah.
So
You guys have any tattoos in real life?
no.
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 I was thinking
I'm-
about getting
I'm
a wedding band tattoo because I can't wear jewelry.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I never thought of that because I can't wear jewelry either. I find that it's number one, it's dangerous for my work because caught in a machine and that's the end of your finger. Number
Hmm.
two, I have really knobby knuckles, so when I put a ring on, it's just kind of floating around there, and it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the 300 gold I took from the bag of holding. What I meant by the giving 400 back is the amount of gold that I'm getting over the adventure. I'll just put back the 300 over time with every bit of money I get, and the extra 100 is just collateral for using the bag of holding. That
Varn,
much.
what you didn't realize, Varn, is Kriv dedicated that money to Ball, so now you owe Ball.
Well,
Ball
Ball
owns everyone.
all is deep in this.
Well, that certainly can't be the title right there. Balls deep into everything.
Because didn't we already have one that was balls deep?
Well, I'm not sure the podcast will allow me to put "holy shit" as the title either.
We started with one evil character. Now we got two. We're just gonna grow the party until everyone's evil.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I'm not evil.
We'll all be wearing black hearts soon.
Dagger isn't evil, he's just chaotic.
No, Ziff.
I'm not evil.
Ziff's evil.
He's not evil, he's just a cannibal.
You're not.
I don't believe that.
What have I done that's been evil?
Kill a merchant?
Oh, that was Dagger's fault. The merchant
when you
literally
wa-
had
when I
a
wa-
dagger to my throat.
What about
And
when I
that's-
walked
Eat
back
half-
in and he went, let's go kill something?
Eat halflings, eat children.
Well, that's
I'm
just cultural. Like,
Your
you know,
track
cultural.
record
bad
of being
about
evil is
cannibals
way
is
more.
just how we perceive it. It's just how we perceive it. Like, when I die, if I'm eaten, I don't care, you know, I'm dead. And at least I'm helping somebody, you know? You don't want to be selfish.
You're scaly.
Having that belief doesn't make you want to go kill other people.
Well, you didn't... Why are you talking? You full of balls.
Yeah, I am
have
evil.
to kill
No.
people.
Yeah.
You're being a bit hypocritical.
Well, isn't ball just a
Okay, you ready
ball's just
to
a
pick this
culture?
up again?
Yep.
Okay, so the boys in the tattoo shop finished their tattoos, and if you guys have pictures or whatever you want to share with the group on the Discord, or even like something that you found on the internet that's like, this is sort of kind of what I think it would look like, feel free to share those things.
No
Been sharing
regrets.
pictures on Discord.
No regrets.
I don't like that little gift there.
Or, you know, in character, you can describe the tattoo when you get back to the tavern and show the tattoo off to your party members. And
Hate that image.
Jesus, that image is brutal.
It's making me really uncomfortable.
You gotta cut ball out of your life.
I just seen that. Oh,
I'm just gonna post some things so it's gone. My phone. Back to
Take that off. Take that off, please. Please take that off.
Scroll it down.
Just,
Doctors use that to learn
Oh,
how to do vasectomies.
nasty.
that's not quite what I meant.
Oh,
that's not my tattoo.
Marn,
So
Marn, how come you're always clinching?
I'd like,
Twerking.
unless there's more things that you guys want to do in the tavern, let me know, because otherwise we'll skip to the end of the 8 hours. And
Yeah.
I think, Kriv, if you can get some more beer up here, I think it'd be really good.
I don't think
I
he's
wanna
in a
do
good state of mind for that. Let's maybe just hold off on that idea.
I want to do something else, but it might be a side quest.
okay,
I want to
what do you
look
wanna
for like my temple of
Yeah.
conquest
He wants
or
to
whatever.
He wants to look for a merchant.
Yeah, that's right. That's the second.
Yeah.
He wants to spend 100
Okay.
gold on a tattoo.
Are you going to like walk around the city? You're going to leave the tavern and go out exploring on your own?
Yes.
Okay.
While we're waiting for that 8 hours.
Okay, you're going to do a little side quest all on your own in the city looking for some sort of a temple of conquest.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that something that we're good to record later, or would you rather run it right now? Gord, what do you say?
I'm
I have
good
time
either way.
later. We can do that later.
If you want to do it at the end of this or another day, I'm fine.
I'm happy to do it now if that's okay with you.
It's fine with me.
I'll try and keep it short. I know that we're kind of going in 7 different directions here.
It's all Dagger's fault anyways.
So you you go looking, you go searching. Maybe you ask some people. They don't know what you're talking about. They've never heard of this conquest order. If you stay here in the market district, in this quarter of the city, there's no one there that will have heard of it. But if you give me a perception check, you might see something.
Perception check. Okay. Oh, a 7.
Okay. You don't see anything.
I am going to go. Can I go to the slums?
Reflection. You see your reflection, and you're like, "Ooh, yeah, I'm looking good."
I want to go to like the slums of the area, the city, and ask around.
Okay, the only way to get to the slums from here is to go through that checkpoint again, or you have to cross the river, or get like a ferry, hire a little boat to ferry you upriver, and then you can bypass the checkpoint.
Sure. Yeah, I'll go look for a ferry in the docks.
Yeah, all along the edge of the river, there are people with it's a little more than a stand-up paddleboard. It's just meant for ferrying people, either across the water or upriver. And it's like 2 silver to cross the river, and like 10 silver to go upriver, because it's a lot more work for them to pull the boats up the river. You want to pay the silver to take the little ferry?
I'll give him 10 silver and get him to take me up the river.
Okay, you pay the 10 silver, and you get transported upriver past the checkpoint, and you can get dropped off on either side of the river, either on the slum side that you came in on, or the opposite side of the river that has more residential area, but it's more upper class.
I'll go on to the slum.
Okay. So in the slum, there's people are a little more skittish. They aren't used to having tourists be in their area in this part of the city, and you definitely stand out as a Dragonborn, as being someone who doesn't belong here, or is definitely an outsider. So no one approaches you, and if you approach them, they're, for the most part, they're going to try and just avoid you, and they all go back into their little huts, and they draw the curtains, and nobody really wants to engage you in conversation. Roll me another perception check.
I'm rolling shit tonight. 5.
Okay. You don't find anything particularly of use in the slums. You notice that there's just Um, filth everywhere. There's no sort of proper drainage system here. Like there is a sewage system in the city, but here it seems as though everything has been broken, or the pipes, that the systems that were dislodged or shifted when the chasm opened up, and so now this area of the city that used to be a fully functional residential area is now just turned into a real rundown area, because it's not like one house was affected. It's like this whole quarter of the city is without power and water and any sort of services, and it's just been left to rot. And so only the unfortunate and less fortunate people live here.
Yeah, if I don't find anything, then I'll keep on. I have time to waste, so I'll spend the 8 hours or I'll spend the next 6 hours just walking the city,
In the slum
seeing if I
area?
can in the slums, seeing if I
Okay.
can see anything.
Roll 2 more perception checks.
Wow, 10.
10 is your highest?
10 is my highest. I rolled 2 10s.
Okay. Oh, okay. There you go. So, in the 8 hours, or the time that's remaining, that you are searching through the slums to try and find anyone who will talk with you, you see a beggar, and the beggar is sitting on the side of the road, and he looks like he's blind, and he's got a little basket out in front of him, and
Easy
he's
mark.
not really saying much. What was that?
Easy mark. Sorry.
Yeah, he's not saying much. He's just kind of rocking there in front of his basket, and you can see that he's got bandages wrapped around his head, and there's a staff, or more like a stick, that he just kind of cradles, and he's rocking there. And he hears you approach and says, "Please, sir, you spare a few copper."
Yes, I'll give you some copper.
So how much
Make
do you
sure
drop into his basket?
I'll give him 10 copper.
Okay. Wow, thank you. It's not very often to see one of you around.
What do you mean, one of me?
Well, a lizard folk like yourself, we don't see very many of you here in Neverwinter.
I'm looking for where I don't know what to say. I'm looking for a type of temple. Do you know of any in the city?
Oh, that would be the Temple of Pallor. Yes, there's a grand temple over by the dock ward.
What about a more underground temple?
There are sewers I know of that run under the city. But here in the slums, the sewers haven't worked since the great divide, where the chasm broke open the ground, and it's been years since we've had any sort of working sewers in this area.
Okay. Have you seen or have you heard of anyone going into the sewers as of late?
There are entrances to the sewers in the city that they use for service. They're down under the bridges that cross the river. You know where the bridges are, right?
Yes.
If there is an underground something hidden, your access to the sewers would be there under the bridge.
Okay. Thank you again. Thank you for the information. And I drop him another 5 copper.
Okay.
I want to find like an alley, a dark alley that no one's in, and try to commune with Ball or speak to him.
Okay.
And I want to just be like, I'm looking. I want to say, Ball. I'm looking for a temple that can grow my power. Can you give me some direction?
Okay, you don't hear anything. No response.
Feeling a little discouraged, Kriv will go back to the ferries and get him to take him downriver again.
Okay,
and he'll
what do I say? Downriver or across is 2 silver?
Yeah.
Okay, 2 silver to go downriver. And he'll take you back past the checkpoint, and it actually passes under the 2 bridges, or 3 bridges. And you can get out on either side of the river all the way along.
I will get on the south side, get off on the south side.
Okay.
And investigate the bridge, the rightmost bridge.
Okay, you can investigate with advantage because you know what you're looking for.
Okay. Investigation check. Oh. 15.
Okay, you find a large, like it's like a sewer grate, but it's like a man-sized door, where you can push the gate, and it's not locked. It's just just pulled closed.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see that there is a tunnel that leads in underground.
I'll investigate further, push the grate aside, and continue into it.
Okay. If you're going to go any further into this tunnel, we'll either have to do that at a later point, or I'd say if you spent most of the day in the slums, you're running out of time. If you were planning on going back to the tavern. So it's, at your point in the day, it's now getting late. And so late is going to get dark out. If you don't care, if it's you're going to not go back for night, you can go and investigate the underground by yourself. But the rest of your party is probably at this point going to be going to bed in the tavern, or they're leaving the city without you. So I'd say at that point you'd want to decide whether you check in with your party members, or where this place is and you can come back to it. But if you go any further, even in the episode here, we're going to have to do that at a later date.
Yeah, I want to retcon back to the ferry and just go back to the hotel. Because, since it's getting late, I want to go back.
Well, you can definitely, on your way through here, you can definitely find this location and know where it is, and then just go straight back to the tavern.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I'm happy that you know the location to get to the underground sewers. But then you head back to the tavern because at this point you've been searching all day, and the rest of your party, you don't know what's going on with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Kriv comes back at the end of the day, probably around the same time that Orlear and Varn are coming back. You kind of bump into each other right at the front door of the tavern as you're going upstairs. The other people, you're eating tree nuts for lunch and tree nuts for dinner, and you haven't come downstairs for anything? Or did you sneak downstairs to try and get a bite in
Good
a
berry.
tavern that may or may not be full of people?
Good berries. Everyone gets a good berry.
Okay, you're laying low?
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna lay low.
Okay, so
Here's a
then
good berry for you. Here's a good berry for you.
Or Lear
your party
do-
comes back to the
on his way
room.
back.
You want to do something on the way back?
Yeah, I need to buy one more thing from the tattoo artist, and I need to make a stop at the Tribune, knick-knack shop, and
Yeah.
then those two things. So while we're still at the tattoo shop, while Varn is getting tattooed, I guess. We're do you actually have some flecked dye as well that's quite shiny? I feel like the white dye might be kind of boring. I just kind of want to add a little bit to it.
Sure, I have this silver dye. It has these silver flecks, like metallic flecks in it. They kind of glitter.
Oh, that's something exactly like that would be wonderful. Except for, could I have a color to the fleck? Would it be perfect?
Well, you could add this dye to any of the dyes to add this metallic quality to it.
Oh.
I often mix dyes to give different
If
appearances.
I wanted a flare to the color, I would need some of that silver and then one more color to mix together and then into the white dye, right?
Yeah, you could mix half of this color, the silver, into any other color to give it that metallic shine.
Oh, yeah, I'll definitely need to pick up some of that. I think that's super interesting. How much?
Okay.
Just for a little bit, maybe 10 gold. So I'll buy 5 gold worth of that flecked colored dye.
Okay, he only sells it in a 10 pound or 10 gold piece.
Sure, I'll spend
contain-
10 gold on it.
Okay. So you have 10 gold worth. You bought 20 gold worth of white and 10
Yeah.
gold worth of silver.
Yeah, the
So
metallic.
it's like a liter and a half a liter.
Yeah.
Okay. As you're walking back from the dock ward or from the tattoo shop, you can roll me a perception check.
Yeah, no, it's a 6.
Okay, Varn can also roll that perception check.
Okay. And that is a 14.
Okay. Across the water, on the beach, you can see that there is a tent that is surrounded by these gray-robed figures with the cloaks that you know to be the city watch. And there's probably 10 or 15 of these figures that you can see across the bay. It's starting to get dark now, and they've brought out some torches, and you can see that the area has been roped off. It's definitely, from what you can tell, that there's some sort of crime scene going on the other side of the water.
It's a good thing a 10-pound Loxodon doesn't leave any footprints.
Hey, Orlear, look what the boys did. I'm going to point over the river. I'm assuming a bunch of other
Jeez.
people are looking at it too.
It is quite the scene over there. Wonder if we should talk to them. Do you think that's a bad idea? Could maybe throw them off the trail?
Don't go, because we're in a way... why are we talking about this out in public?
I don't know. You were the one pointing out, but that's fine. We're just walking on our own, talking quietly.
Okay, I'm going to message you then. Message means...
I could message you the same thing, so...
Oh, you have it too.
I have that cantrip as well, so...
So we're just going to be messaging the whole time? This is a good thing to learn?
Oh my goodness.
You just see
I can
their
just
eyes
picture the
staring.
two of you. The two of you talking back and forth on your walkie-talkies or whatever, and you're standing side by side.
We're walking while we're talking.
Getting all this feedback.
But we shouldn't, because in a way we are also... we're accomplices in a way. We're helping them in this. You don't... If you're involved with it, you don't go back to the scene of the crime unless you know unless there's a real reason to go. Trying to turn them away, like giving them false information, that's still giving them our faces. And
True.
with their faces, our faces, us,
they could find us,
you,
and maybe them as well.
At least the two of us, we're not. We can come back to the city, hopefully.
Yeah, that's true.
But the others, not so. Well, Kriv obviously, but the others not so much.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll figure out a solution. I don't think we should give up quite so easily.
Too bad they couldn't get rid of the body, though.
Yeah, they should have just chucked it into the river. What were they thinking?
The problem, though, is... I should know this, but do bodies float right when they're dead? Or do they sink when they're dead?
They float.
Yeah.
No, they sink, actually.
They sink.
Depends on how long they've been dead for.
Psychic dagger.
Yeah, once the lungs fill up with water, they sink, but they start to float again later on when they start to rot and build up gas inside them.
Well, hopefully at that point,
yeah.
Like those big whales that explode.
Yeah.
Now, yeah.
Okay, so are Lear and Varn, you're heading back to the tavern, or is there something else you want to do on the way?
Let's go back to the tavern. We've kept them long enough.
Yeah,
Plus,
sure.
Kriv gave me the book. Why didn't he ask me to give him the ink? Need to do that quickly.
Yeah, I mean...
Do you think we should go tonight? Or does that bring too much attention to on us? Like, I don't know, anybody seeing us?
I mean, I can cast Invisible on Andros, and once we change Dagger's hair color or fur color, it'll be fine.
Okay.
I mean, we'll be able to walk around the city and at least get out quietly enough.
Use my my coat for on the flooring so we don't mess up the flooring and the barkeep gets pissed at us.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I don't need my coat anymore. Just do the inside though, just in case we need to hide ourselves.
Yeah, I'll be using my mage hand actually to hopefully spread the dye on his fur.
Okay. We just need to be careful.
Okay. As you cross the bridge, there seems to be 2 guards stationed on the bridge, and they aren't crossing the bridge. They're just stationed and watching everyone who is crossing the bridge. And as you two cross the bridge, they kind of turn and watch you. They don't stop you, but you both notice that they visibly turn and watch you, and one of them starts following you.
Oh, hello, have you seen a civilized kobold before? I walk up to him and I'm trying to be really friendly.
There's been an incident, and we have reason to believe that you would have information as to the company that you traveled and that you came into town with yesterday, would you be willing to come with me to answer some questions? And he puts his hand on his sword.
Sure thing, my kind sir. I'm going to
You need
message.
to be aggressive. It's quite all right. Take your hand off your weapon.
I'm going to message earlier. We should just follow them. If we do anything else, we are just going to be in a lot more trouble. And I'm going to message Dagger, and not Dagger. Andros. Trust Andros
I think
more at this
we're
point.
close enough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's 1,000 feet, right?
Yeah,
120
we're
feet.
well out of range.
Oh, only 120?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then you're out of range. Okay, so he leads you back towards the Neverember Castle. And you both willingly go with him?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then you travel up the road, up the hill. It's fairly steep incline, and it's kind of built up on a mound of rocks. And the ramparts are kind of built into the rock structure and rise up out of the rock, and you are taken over what is like, it's like a drawbridge, but the drawbridge is not around a moat. It's just over a large drop into the walled section of the castle, and around to what is like a guardhouse in the in one of the outbuildings, not in the actual castle itself, but in the outbuildings inside the ramparts. And you're led into a room.
Do I see these guys going? Because I've been looking out the window the whole time at the castle here and everything that's going on around. Do I perceive that these guys, should I give you a roll of perception?
Yeah, give me a roll, a perception roll. It's going to be a high DC.
I got a 7.
Because,
I didn't see him.
Because it would have had to be at just the right timing that you were looking out the window to see them. And there's been lots of people going in and out of the castle, so the fact that you would actually recognize, oh, that's a kobold, and you might recognize that would be the only way to be able to recognize them. And so with a 7, you didn't look out the window at just the right time, and they were in the castle without you noticing. So the guard will deposit you there in the guardhouse and leave you to be questioned by the chief of the city watch. And he will look up from his desk as you're standing there, and he'll be going through some paperwork and be like, oh, yes, my reports show that you crossed the checkpoint into the market district yesterday with the company of a Loxodon and a Tabaxi. These are 2 individuals of that we're investigating, and what do you know of them? We know that you came in with them.
I'm gonna message earlier and say I'm giving this to you. I'm a bit too wound up to start talking.
Depends. I don't know why we're being held here. I know we were told we were going to answer some questions, but...
Yeah, you're not locked up. You're just standing in front of his desk. He's just asking you questions.
I'm going to message earlier again, and I'm going to state we should probably not go against the checkpoint. What they said in the checkpoint.
We did cross with a group of them, yes.
Well, you came in with them.
That's true.
So how do you know them?
Oh, we've been adventuring for days with them.
Do you know their names or where they're from?
I don't know where the Tabaxi's from particularly, and the Luxodon, he's from just outside of Oakhurst.
Oh, so a local.
Yeah, I mean, he's been to Neverwinter many times before. He's actually very good friends with the Paladins of Pallor. What were their names? There was 3 of them. One was an Aarakocra, and then there was two other humans, maybe. But yeah, they.
Yeah, my guards say that you told them you were going to visit the paladins.
Yeah,
and
we were hoping to do that.
Yet when we checked their story, the paladins said that they had never. You hadn't come to see them.
Well,
No, we were
out,
hoping.
Shopping today.
We were shopping today. We were hoping to do that tomorrow.
All of this is very suspect. What did you say their names were? And he goes to write it down.
But depends. Are they in some sort of trouble? I realized there was an incident last night, but surely they are not connected. We've been with them the whole time.
What is this incident you're talking about?
Well, we heard a guy in the streets yelling this morning. There was a murder down by the
docks.
Right? Down by the docks.
Oh, you heard that, did you?
Yeah, it was outside our room in the tavern.
Oh, you're staying at the tavern?
Yeah.
I'm going to message earlier. They're going to now check the tavern.
I'll message back. You're probably right, but they already knew where we were staying. If they were closing the doors in, I'd rather say they weren't there at all, or at least maybe throw them off the trail.
Okay, well, if you are staying at the tavern, was that the Driftwood Tavern or the Beached Leviathan?
We are at the Beached Leviathan.
Okay, if you're staying at the Beached Leviathan, I'll make sure that you guys get back there safely.
It's quite all right. We don't need your help for. If you need to escort us, that's fine. But we don't need your help. If we're not being held against our will, it's fine. You know where to find us. If you need more questions, feel free to find us.
Okay, if I have more questions, I'll contact the Beached Leviathan to and I'll send someone there if I need to talk to you more.
Indeed.
But it would be a good idea if you didn't leave the city, for at least for a couple of days, because we might have more questions.
That's no problem.
Okay, and he will wave his hand up, and someone at the door will open the door. The guard at the door will usher you out and escort you back down the path and out the castle the way you came, but under heavy escort. Like 3 or 4 people are armed, are escorting you out.
I'm going to message earlier again. Earlier, I think where are the actual is the Driftwood, isn't it? if they're escorting us to the Leviathan, if we don't have a room there, what are we
That's
gonna
fine.
do?
We'll just
Also-
eat there until they stay, and then if we need to order another room, we'll get another room. It'll be fine.
Also, I'm going to,
Okay.
while we're walking, I'm going to try to walk next to the if we walk past the Driftwood Tavern, I want to position myself where I can message somebody, hopefully within the of our party. Than the
You're
tavern.
escorted back to the bridge where you were taken. And that bridge crosses the river. It's that first bridge. It crosses the river right to where the temple is.
Yeah.
So, you want to try and message the Driftwood
Are
Tavern.
If
Are
we
they
pass by,
trying to escort us straight to the beach Leviathan?
Their orders are just to escort you to the bridge where
Okay.
you were picked up, and they're going to leave one of their guards there at the bridge to return to his post.
Okay.
So you're now back at the bridge. You can decide where you go from there.
Yeah, we'll walk down past the temple to Pallor and then circle back around back to the Driftwood.
Okay, so you're not going to the beach, you're going...
Well, we'll go to the beach Leviathan, or look like we're going to it, and then double back around if needed.
Okay, so if you head towards the beach Leviathan, you have to take the beach along the outside of the wall.
I thought there
The
might
beach
have been
Leviathan,
a path that went through, but apparently not.
No, the beach Leviathan's on the outside of the wall on the island off the dockward.
We could pretend that we're going out to get some dinner or something. Getting outside of the beach Leviathan. And,
so are you headed along the beach, or are you headed into the merchant district?
I think we should go into the merchant district, because we want to loop around to the Driftwood Tavern.
I'll message Varn and say, we could pretend to go. I can turn invisible and politely walk right past them back, but I don't know where that'll leave you.
I do not have such spells. I have disguise self, but it won't do anything for my clothing, I'm quite sure.
Disguise self would do just fine. If you can cast a spell, you can use that to manipulate your image, can you not?
Yes. We just need to get around a corner.
Yeah, we'll walk towards the beach Leviathan then, and then once we're around the corner out of eyesight.
Okay, as you walk around the corner of the beach where you're out of eyesight from the guards on the bridge, there are all sorts of guards on the beach surrounding the tent that has been roped off that look up and see as you come around the corner. You're still in view of guards.
Lovely.
Let's continue walking. It might take a bit.
We'll just continue walking.
Okay, you walk past the roped off tented area, but there are too many bodies and too many, everything is hush and closed off and you can't see into the tent, but there's a commotion of happening there, and people seem to stop their conversations as you walk past, and they turn and look at you.
Earlier, I'll just turn and look at them and just kind of wave at them a little bit with just saying, "Hey, how you doing?" and just keep walking.
And one of the people around the tent, one of the guards will approach you and say, "You look to excuse me, sirs. Do you mind coming down to the Neverwinter Castle? We have some questions to ask you."
We just did that, sir. We've already talked to the chief of
the City Watch.
You
Well,
should
I
pull the
haven't
race.
heard.
You should pull the race
Nobody's
card on
told.
them.
Nobody's told me this.
Just because I'm a
There's
kobold.
been an incident, and we've been told to be on the lookout for people of your persuasion. And so, if you wouldn't mind, we need you to come to answer some questions. And he put his hand on his sword.
Racial profiling now? We've done
And
this
there's a couple
already.
other guards who are there at the tent, and they turn to support his accusation.
I'll pipe up.
Just
It's
came
really on us. We've just came from the city, the captain of the city watch. If you have any questions, you can go ask the watch at the first bridge. We're going to the beach Leviathan. If you have any questions, you can find us there. And Orlear will turn around and continue walking.
Okay, he's going to put his hand on your shoulder, and he's going to say, I'll send a scout to the bridge, but you have to stay here until I hear back from my scout.
That's fair enough. Send him running now.
Okay, so one of his peons will run off to the bridge, and 5 minutes later, he'll come running back and corroborate your story.
And I, in that 10 minutes of time, make small conversation with this guy to see if I can pull any information that he might know out of him.
Okay, make a persuasion check to see if you learn any information about the crime scene from him.
Oh,
I will.
it's so good being a charismatic person. That's a 26.
Oh,
Okay, he let slip some information about the crime scene that he probably shouldn't say, but just in chatting with you, you learn the details about the murder, the eyeball that's missing. You learn that they're currently searching for two suspects that were seen by the dock workers. It's a Loxodon and a Tabaxi. They're not quite sure that there's more footprints. There was a third accomplice, but they're not quite sure who that was. These are the things that you learn about the crime scene from the captain.
Do you learn about the note that was left?
No, you don't.
Okay. All right.
Okay, and then you can continue on to the Beach Leviathan.
Sure, yeah.
Do we get an
We'll
opportunity to cast our spells?
We'll just get out of eyeshot of the guard tent, like just walking around, and then as soon as we're out of eyesight of any guards, or actually any people, probably.
Okay, are you on Roll20 right now?
Yep.
Okay, you'd have to get to like this location.
Okay, I didn't know if this was the actual location of the beach spot.
Yeah, this is the tent here.
Okay.
And so you'd have to be out and around, say, to this, and then you can disguise yourself or invisibility or whatever at that point.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what we'll do.
I'm going to make myself into an old granny, and I'm going to use my walking stick, and I'm just going to be huddled over it, like really gray hair and everything.
So you want to look like an old woman that was just at the beach last night.
No, there's multiple old ladies, so
just carry
he
a
didn't
carry
have
a pie.
She didn't have a staff. Yeah. It lasts an hour,
Okay.
but I'll just continuously cast it.
You're not doing it as a ritual, you're just casting it as an action.
No, I'm gonna... we don't have
And
to
it,
cast
no,
it.
don't. No,
I'm gonna
use
just
the
cast
spell
it.
slot.
Okay. And Orlear, so your turn. Varn's being an old lady, and Varn's being, or Orlear, what are you doing?
I will just cast invisibility on myself.
Can we use our tattoos to cast a spell, or do we have to, like, put a spell in?
Yeah, you have to bank the spell in there first.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say, like, that's something you'll have effective after the next long rest. Like, it's something that you have to attune to. So right now your tattoo's still too fresh. It's healing. It's you need to wait.
Okay.
Okay, so you're invisible, and Varn is an old lady, and you're here at the bridge that leads out to this island where the beach Leviathan is.
Yeah. And I'll just, before I cast invisibility on myself, I'll message Varn and I'll say, I'll see you back at the tavern. I'm going to go invisible now.
Okay. And, actually, I have I already cast, Disguise Self? Because I have a
Yep.
better idea. I've already cast it?
Well, I mean, what do you want to retcon something?
I'd like to be a little child because I won't be able to get back there as, an old lady. So I'm gonna try to keep up with the staff and everything in under an hour. It's just, I'm gonna be a little rambunctious kid, and I'm just gonna be ready.
Okay, you're going to be a little kid instead?
Yeah.
And know that what time of day it is right now. It is like 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah, old lady. It's the only way. I'll just go, I'll go behind the buildings and run when nobody's looking, and then start walking whenever I'm going across the street.
Okay, well, from this location, you have to cross right in front of the tent. You either have to go back along the beach and cross right in front of the tent, or you have to go outside in the fields along the outside of the wall to the southern gate.
I'll walk alongside the tent. I'll be, like, really rickety and everything. Just an old lady you wouldn't want to hinder.
Okay, you're an old lady who's taking a walk on the beach at 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah, reminds me of my husband, Timothy. He used to love the ocean.
You say this in passing the tent where all the guards are.
No, I'm just gonna be looking at the sea and just walking by, and I'm just gonna talk to myself about Timothy. What we used to do together. Just quietly.
Okay. Okay. The captain of the guard is going to turn and say, "Excuse me, miss. We have an incident here. Do you mind coming to answer a few questions that we have?"
Oh, sure, kind sir. I'm going to slowly walk over. Really slowly, and I'm gonna put down my cane, and I'm gonna sit down. Or if they have a chair.
Sure. He'll provide you with a little folding stool that you can sit on. And at the beach here, along with his guards, he'll ask you, there's been an incident here, and we're just trying to gather some information. Would you know of, anything that happened here last night? You seen anything, any people unusual, out of place?
Oh no, I wouldn't have. I usually go to bed at 7, and last night I did stay up a bit later, but I was just reading one of my favorite books.
Well, it's pretty late right now.
Oh yes, it's just on this day my husband Timothy died, and I like to go across the beach, just look at the waves, because he used to be a sailor before he
Okay,
kind of
roll your deception check.
okay. A 13. Oh,
Okay. At 13, the guard says, "Is that right? We noticed that you seem to match a description of a particular old lady that was here on the beach last night. Were you here on the beach last night?
no, I was reading a book.
Where were you reading this book?
Well, I don't actually live here anymore, so I was in the why can't I remember the name? My dementia may be kicking up. In the
Driftwood.
Leviathan for the night. I'm here to again just come to the docks where my husband used to work.
You're staying at the Driftwood Tavern?
Yes.
And were you is there anyone who can corroborate your story? Who were you staying with?
Oh, I'm not staying with anyone, sadly. I prefer to be on my own. I came on with a bunch of merchants who were riding to Neverwinter.
Oh, you came by boat?
No, there was a cart.
And which gate did you enter the city by?
The southern gate.
And what did you say your name was?
Agatha.
Very well, Agatha. If we have any more questions, we'll try and reach you at the Driftwood Tavern.
Thank you, kind sir. And I'm going to continue my walk down the beach towards the why can't I talk? The Driftwood Tavern.
Okay.
I'm going to, in my head, think, oh fuck, I meant the Leviathan Tavern.
Okay. And you round the corner and you pass the bridge where those other two guards are standing, but you make it back to the Driftwood Tavern. And Orlear, which route do you take?
I'll walk past all the guards at the beach as well.
Okay, and do you wait to kind of like walk in time with Varn, or do you just go straight back?
I'd probably walk past all of the guards at the beach to the corner and just kind of slink off to the side and wait for Varn to at least start walking past them, and then once I know that he's walking past, I'll continue to go ahead of him.
Okay. Okay, you both get back to the tavern where everyone else has been waiting, eating good berries and tree nuts. Kriv, if you want to make another trip to get more beers, you can do that.
Yeah, sure. Go down and grab 5 more.
Okay,
beers.
And then you mark off 5 more silver from your inventory. Anyone who's going to slam their beer has to make a Constitution check.
Oh, I'm going to slam it.
Okay, make your con save.
4.
Okay, and that was the beer. Then you pass out. That was the one that did it, and it's just too much for you, and you pass out.
So, Ziff, you want to sneak out now?
At this moment, you don't have your feather on you. So wherever you pass out, like that's it. No one's moving you.
Perfect.
Fuck.
Cut him into pieces.
Where is his feather?
I gave it to away.
You gave it to Orlear to get all dressed up at the jeweler's, so he doesn't actually have it on him right now.
Oh, wait, didn't the jeweler do it in like a few he did
Yeah,
it
a
really
few
quick.
minutes.
But you haven't been back to the tavern yet.
Oh, yeah. As soon as I'm going to message Orlear, even though he's probably not with me anymore.
You have to point in a direction, and you don't know where he is.
Yeah.
But I'd say you both make it back to the tavern. You can decide when you drop your disguise, and earlier you can decide when you drop your
Yeah, I would drop
invisibility.
it before I would kind of get close to the tavern, just like in an alley where no one was, and I would just drop the spell and then just walk back out of the alley.
I'm going to
Continuing the same direction, but quite close to it so that I wouldn't have to walk too far.
I'm going to try to use my perception to see if anybody's watching, looking at me.
Okay, make a before you enter the tavern.
Yeah, I got a nat 20, but it's plus 2 because we don't do it for skill checks. So it's 22.
Okay, you see a hooded individual that sees you in the alley, undisguising yourself.
Well, I didn't go into the alley until I made sure nobody's looking where I'm going.
Oh, this is the perception check to see if anyone's going to watch you just undisguised.
Yeah.
Okay, then before you undisguise, you see someone, a hooded figure, that is watching you. So you're still an old lady.
I'm going to walk up to the figure and
Oh no. He's watching you from down the other end of the alley. And the moment you start walking towards you, he turns around the corner. He's not going to let you get close to him, but he's got his eyes on you.
I'm going to deal out a bit and say, Sonny, I seem to forgotten my way. Where, by happen chance, would I find the Driftwood Tavern? I know it may be, it's probably quite silly. It's probably quite near, but
okay, you're shouting down the alley. He's not right beside you, watching you. He's way down the other end of the alley, but he's got his eyes on you. And with your natural 20 or 22, you could see that he was watching you, but he's in nowhere near for you to have a conversation with him. And as you start walking towards him, he's going to tuck away around the alley.
Okay.
So if you're going to try and talk to him, you're shouting down the alley.
Okay, I'm not going to be shouting because that's going to bring too much attention to myself. So I'm just going to walk around to the corner of the alley. I'm going to try to have it so there's something in between me and the hooded figure. And then I want to drop the disguise and walk around the corner quick enough, hopefully quick enough where it's hard to see.
Okay,
who I
roll
am.
a stealth check.
Okay. 16, 19. I got a 19.
Okay. So you think that you are fast enough that you are able to, duck down behind a barrel and quickly undisguise and then pop back up as a kobold and carry on. You
Okay.
don't know whether or not you were seen, but that's what you are able to do it.
Okay, and I'm going to try to walk into the Driftwood Tavern.
Okay,
Hopefully.
you go ahead and you walk into the Driftwood Tavern as a kobold.
He's just. I know this is probably worse, but whatever. I'm gonna go up the stairs and I'm going to go into
Okay, there's lots of people. There's still lots of people. The dinner rush is over, but there's still lots of people hanging about there. And you overhear one person say to another person as you walk past the table area along towards the stairs that go upstairs. You hear one person say, "Is that a kobold? I think I just saw a kobold."
And I'm just going to keep walking up the stairs. I wish I put on my hood.
Okay, so Varn is back to the room. Orlear, you're back to the room. We're finally all together as a party again.
Yeah.
This is the first time this episode that you're all in the same room.
We are getting out of the city tonight. We've drawn too much attention on ourselves. Now, I know we took a long time getting our tattoos, but we still, I don't know. Somebody's watching us. There is a hooded figure earlier, and I feel really stupid because as an old lady, he was still following me, obviously because I was a suspect. Like, either way, me talking with the people, he made you realize that this figure was an illusion, but...
Maybe.
We need to get out, but, like, we can't go through one of the checkpoints. We can't be... Is there, like, sewers or something that we can go and hide in? And then, hopefully... Because it would be... the sewers would be busted open because of the, little, ravine. We'd be able to go through the sewers, go through the ravine. Hopefully, we get somewhere. Maybe we'll go to the Underdark. We just have to do something.
Know which way we should go to get out of the city. But I did learn a bit of information from the guard as he had to go check our whereabouts. I also know that they're lurking for a third accomplice. Perhaps we could use that to our advantage and push the blame onto the third accomplice.
Third accomplice is Ziff.
I know, but they don't know what Ziff is looking like. And if they know they're looking for a Luxodon and Tabaxi, maybe the Luxodon and Tabaxi tell them that there was someone they're after, and that after they did business, they left.
Where's the die?
Ah, yeah. Dagger, here's the die.
I want to do my hands, my feet, and my face here, and my chest.
Just if you get a second,
and I want you guys.
I'll give you a hand.
Choose a name for me. Sylvester or Pause?
I like Sylvester.
Tom.
Sylvester. Okay, everybody here, call me Sylvester right now.
Sylvester.
Thuckatash.
Sylvester.
Zip.
Anyways, does anybody
Zip.
know?
What?
Call me Sylvester.
Pepe Le Pew.
Call me Sylvester.
Okay, Pepe.
Call me Sylvester. Just play along. Just say it.
Okay, Sylvester.
So my friends call me Sylvester. So if they question me under Zone of Truth, I can answer. Well, my friends call me Sylvester.
Well, Ziff isn't your friend.
Ziff tears up a little when he hears that he's your friend.
Ziff, these are your gnomish robes that you requested. And,
Thank you.
Why is Andros sleeping on the floor?
He had a rough day.
Bad peanut.
Well, he's
Really?
gonna have to wake up because we're getting the hell out of here as soon as
We
possible.
do need to get out of here
Well, we can
fairly
leave him
quickly.
here.
I
Yeah,
don't
he can
recommend
stay.
that.
No.
I don't know if he has what it takes to be part of our team.
Yeah, I mean, just
Does
it takes
anybody-
the drinking after such a small little incident. I mean,
Yeah, hardly
be a
anything
little
happened.
concerned.
Does anybody know any secret, hidden places we can get around the city? I know.
Well, Andros
Tiger
would be the
would-
only one.
No rain.
Andros. Has anybody else gone out? Just be real with us.
Going out. Why would we go out?
I don't know. Some of you people are a bit.
What?
Snowball.
Yeah.
If we're trying to avoid the checkpoints, we can use a ferry.
Yeah.
Oh,
But that means we'd have to go to the docks. Is there something underneath us? Because the easiest way to hide ourselves is to be away from the sunlight. Because a lot of us have dark vision. We can see in the dark easily.
Oh yes, the metagame. I mean, I know how to get to the sewers.
I know I keep pushing that. Sorry.
Go ahead.
How do you get to the sewers?
Earlier, walk over to Andros and try and shake him awake.
Okay, Andros, make another Constitution check.
That's a 13.
Hey, you get to make a check.
Well, that was a save.
You're able to wake him, but he's still really hungover. Like, he's groggy.
I cast Cure Wounds.
It's a headache.
Why don't we wrap him in the blanket, put the feather on him, and we can use him as a boat on the river.
That'd be my
Because I
sail.
don't know.
Cure Wounds isn't going to heal his
Yeah.
his
I
condition though.
cast Lesser Restoration on myself.
That's the one that will do it. But you are in a state where
Oh, I might not be able to.
you might not be able to right now.
Gotcha.
You make an Arcana check to see if you can even remember the words that you need to say in order to cast Lesser Restoration.
It's a 16.
Okay, you fumble it out and you get the words and you cast Lesser Restoration and now you feel much better.
All right. Oh, don't drink the beer.
We're getting out of here earlier. Do you know any way? Because you've been here before. Do you know any, like, sewer entrances or anything?
Are you talking to
Do you
Andros
know-
or Lee?
Andros, why do I always get you two mixed up?
Well, I'm like twice the
Oh,
size.
I know, but
He's
the
a
names-
dragon. I'm an elephant.
They're not Kriv or Lear.
Oh. Well, now we
You're
got
getting
three.
mixed up
We got
too.
3 people mixed up.
Okay, so Andros doesn't know about sewers. Kriv
Yeah.
does, but it's up to Kriv whether he wants to share that information.
Never explored the sewers when I was here.
Would you know any like sewer grates?
Why
or
do we
anything?
need to go
fit
to
in the sewers?
Why do we need to go in the sewers? Why?
Yeah, like that's.
Because
I think
otherwise
that's.
you have to go through a checkpoint.
I think it's in his genes.
What's
He
the
has
problem
to
with
go
going through
into
a checkpoint?
sewers.
Because going through a checkpoint, people know what we look like. They're going to go up and talk to you. You're going to have to present some information. And because of that, they're going to be seeing that you have a trunk. Because of that, a lot of shit's going to go down. And I don't really think we want to get into a kerfuffle with the guards.
Well, how the hell do I get out of the city? Maybe I should just go to the guards and tell them what happened. Honesty is always a
think
good
that's
thing.
I don't think
quite
that's a good idea.
maybe the idea we should go with, Andros. Maybe something just a little off-centered from that, if you might want to hear me out for a second. Because we did get pulled aside and we did get questioned by the captain of the City Watch.
Well, that's their job. I mean, I think they did. They should know the truth, shouldn't
That's
they?
fine.
That's
yeah.
the law.
That depends. You did say the dock master was selling stolen goods. Do I think he should have died for it?
I don't know.
Maybe not.
Was he selling stolen goods?
I think that was implied with how you explained it.
I think the sword may have been stolen.
So you think he was a bad guy?
No.
Maybe not good, but maybe not bad, but definitely in the gray.
Well, we just explained that to the guards, and everything should be okay.
I think they're looking for more reason of why the dock master died, but
Well, I'm sure
they
Dagger
are
is a
looking
good
for
reason.
a third. I think they are looking for a third accomplice.
Oh, that'd be Ziff, right there.
I'm aware of that, thank you. They also don't know what the third accomplice looks like.
Well, we all go down there. We just say it was Ziff was the third guy. Me, Ziff, and Dagger.
I don't think that's how that you want this to work. I know that this is hard for you morally, but you might need to, or I might need to, not tell the truth.
That might be difficult for me.
We all have certain things we're more capable of. I do think maybe we should get out of the city. I just don't know quite how we're going to get there yet.
Would have been easy yesterday.
Go by the rooftops.
We are stuck. We're stuck in this city. The
No
only
way.
way out is water. But if we go to the water, we're going to the crime scene.
What about the river?
The
Isn't
river
it?
goes out to the ocean, though.
Yeah.
We can go up river.
Or all of you at swim.
I'm not
Go
bad.
upriver, Chris?
Yeah. There's ferries all along the river throughout the district, and if you pay a little extra, they'll put a little work into it and go up the river, so to the east.
Let's do it.
How about your
I'm walking towards the door.
how about your church, Kriv? Can the people in your organization, maybe they can get us out?
I have not met anyone in my order.
Really?
I have an idea where they could be, but I have no definite leads.
Because the people in your organization, if anybody will be able to get someone out of this situation, it would be them.
Yeah, they might be able to help us, or like ordain us, or worship us.
That's true. Well, what would you guys rather do? Go just get out of the city?
I think
Or-
that'd be the best. But if we can't do that, your people might hide us.
We're gonna
That's
have to get
true.
out of the city at some point, because I don't know.
I wanted to leave yesterday.
Let's go. Let's go to the sewers, and at least if it gives us a couple days to hide out, there's no one goes in the sewers anymore.
Well, they might think of that and go into the sewers. We need to go into the sewers and try to map our way around the city to get as far away from the side of the docks that we're on as possible. Go up to find a place where we can exit.
So I think
sneak our way
the best
towards
way
the
to
sewers.
get out of the city would be taking the river
Yeah,
and paying the ferryman to take us.
I'm stating
much-
that we should go the opposite side of where the whole event took place. Using the sewers to get around so we don't walk in front of the guards, because we stated that, me and Orleander stated that we were in the Leviathan. Beach Leviathan?
Yeah, the Beach Leviathan.
So, if we walk out of the Driftwood Tavern, that's completely destroying our story.
Didn't you just say that they followed you to here?
They followed me as an old lady.
DM, have I ever seen another
Yeah.
Loxodon?
No.
No, you're completely fucked here. Your cover is blown.
The one Loxodon in Faerun.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. We gotta go. Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Oh
Griff,
boy.
lead us on. You
And
know where we're
do
going.
one more thing. I can make Andros invisible as well.
That'd be a good idea. Because Dagger can hide himself. I'm gonna put my robes on that I have now.
Put my robes on.
It's about 9 o'clock in the evening,
Perfect.
and you're all. I assume that you're all in like Andros's room, having this conversation, all of you together.
Yeah.
Real quiet, like.
You do have 6 rooms, but right now you're all in the same room.
Can we move to a room where the door is away from, like, towards a alleyway?
Sure, you have rooms on both sides of the hallway. So if you want to pick a room that's on the back side of the building, you can do that.
And before we exit through the window, I'm just stating this, make sure we don't have a hooded figure following us.
Once I put my robes on, I'm gonna disguise myself to look like, I don't know, a totally different colored robes.
Color are your new robes going to be?
Golden wizard looking robes with runes and shit on.
Okay.
And the robes
So
that
the robes that they
disguise-
purchased for you. We didn't really pick a color on those, I don't think, but they're just one solid plain color.
they're supposed to look like wizard robes with runes and
Yeah.
stuff.
Well,
No,
with
no, no,
disguise robes, you can change clothing.
They were just like plain, one solid color.
Oh my
They
god.
are of the style of like a wizard kind of robes for a gnome, but they're not like fancy. You can disguise them to make them look fancy,
Don't make
but that's
them
going
look
to
fancy.
wear off in an hour.
Well, as if, do you want to try my 2 bed sheets sewn together?
I mean, they fucked up my order, but they really fucked up your order, so I'm okay with it.
I'm so stressed out.
could do one more thing, but it would kind of put me at the end of spell slots for the day. I could push myself to the limits, and I could cast invisibility on 2 people at the same time.
I mean, I can stealth pretty good, and so can Dagger.
Well, I stick out
Has
like a
anyone
sore thumb.
seen another tabaxi in the city at all? Like even like a single other one?
Probably not.
So far, no, you haven't seen another single tabaxi in the city so far.
We should.
I think you got to make Andres and myself invisible.
We should change.
Yeah,
our,
you're the 2 targets.
Just walk out.
We should change our group name from the Menagerie to the Stupid Fuckheads.
Why don't we jump?
I'm not sure how much of this is Gord and how much of this is Andrew.
Gord, tell us how you really feel.
Yeah.
We're all excited about being unique and standing out in a crowd. It's fucking us over.
Oh man.
We deserve it.
Oh, that's good. I love it.
Yeah.
We'll look back on this with fond memories from our
Will
jail,
you?
from our
Not-
jail
you
cells.
know. We'll look back at this and you're gonna find out why I had a heart attack.
Well, if we make the 2 targets invisible, we can just walk out of the checkpoints,
They
Yeah.
don't want us out of the city.
and then we can just like rest overnight outside of the city, in the forest or whatnot.
They don't want us out of the city.
Yeah, but
Why don't we just go to the slums area and lay low there?
Because we have to go through a checkpoint, don't we?
no, we don't. We can take the ferries.
Is there
It
anybody?
bypasses the security.
Is there
Okay, let's do
anybody
that.
here in our group that the guards aren't looking for? Is that Sif?
Me.
Me.
They're not questioning
Kriv.
you at all, Kriv?
They haven't questioned
No.
him yet.
Is there any
No.
way we could procure a boat to sail us out of the city?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Kurt's gonna do.
Yeah, I can get you guys a boat pretty fast.
And then maybe like a
They also
smuggler
have
kind of guy?
guards They also have guards positioned on the bridges.
Yeah, like I'm not talking about an open boat. I'm talking like a bigger boat with a hold.
You're gonna buy a boat.
No, we're gonna buy
No.
passage.
Oh, buy passage on a ship.
Yeah.
Sure, there's ships in the dock ward.
The only thing is that how do we get to the ship? Like, that will
Well,
go
how do
through
they-
the dock.
How do they move the all the crates and goods back and forth throughout the city? We need to be in a crate.
Yeah.
We could
That's
just,
one awfully big crate.
But it's surprisingly light.
we could just get like 3 of us each onto one of the rowboats and just go across the river upstream.
It's-
And
We won't get questioned by the guards. I sailed right past them earlier today.
Did they?
went-
Did
I-
you sail close enough that you would see them? Like they would see you?
I'm not too sure.
Mr. DM?
No. When Kriv was out today, he sailed upriver without any guards seeing him.
There you go.
There's guards on the bridges that you're aware of,
Mm-hmm.
but you could get a ferry boat anywhere along that southern shore of the river to take you upriver.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay,
But they are,
the candle's burning.
are-
Let's go.
yeah, they are like single. Like it's not like all 6 of you can pile in a ferry boat. It's like like I said, little more than a paddle board, and it's the one guy who owns the boat and kind of poles it up the river, and enough room for like one passenger.
But there's a bunch of different boats, or just only the
Yep.
one?
Yep. No,
Yeah,
there's a
they're
bunch
all
of different boats.
for hire. So
Okay.
it'll cost, if we have to do what, 6 people, that'll cost
Yeah.
us 60 silver.
That's
Except
fine.
for me and Ziff, we could probably share one. Right?
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, we would count as the weight of one person.
Sure,
So
you guys
I'll,
could share one, and then you'd have to pay double for the Loxodon.
Well, I mean, he'd have to pay double for being fat, so...
He only
I'll-
weighs 10 pounds, so he's
I'll
really
head
very
towards
light.
Then again.
I'll head towards the river and start procuring boats for hire.
I'll go with you.
And I
Okay,
will
so
join you,
it's
but
like-
I'll make sure I have
It's like
my
9 o'clock at night, and you guys head towards the river to find little ferry boats, and they're just these tiny little things that have like a little lantern that kind of dangles out in front of the paddle boat to kind of light the way.
Since my robes are really boring, I'm going to disguise myself as a halfling bard with really vibrant clothing on.
A halfling bard.
Yeah. So I don't
what
look anything
instrument-
like
What instrument
Sorry?
do you have? What instrument?
I sing.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have to be a good bird.
No, I'm a rich spoiled kid of a merchant
You're the
family
front
that
man.
wants to be a bard.
Okay.
I don't want to look anything like what my robes look like, so my robes are boring. I want to look vibrant.
Okay, so all 6 of you are leaving, or just the 2?
Yeah.
3. How many of you are leaving?
Let's do 3 at a time.
The question is, do you want Dagger and Andros invisible to get to the boats?
Yeah,
I don't-
think that's
Yeah. Let's
How-
be safe.
How long
Safe.
does invisibility last?
An hour.
Oh, okay.
Which is awesome. That's lots of time.
Yeah, let's be safe because we can always rest, do a long rest outside of the city.
I will be absolutely almost spent after this.
Can I get my feather back over there?
Oh, of course you can get your feather back, and here's the other stuff you asked for as well.
Oh, well, thanks. I'll stuff them in my pack. And before I go, I'll ask Ziff. Do you got a dagger there, Ziff?
I do. What do you need that for?
No, I'm just asking for a favor. Can you pierce my end of my trunk, like right at the end there? I need a pierced hole.
What?
Maybe we should do that when we're out of the city, because what if you trumpet?
Yeah, just because of the blood trails, I think that maybe now is not the time.
Okay. Later.
Although you could, I guess, cure yourself right away.
I could.
Are you going to give yourself a Prince Albert?
Well, it's
I don't
either
know what that
here.
is.
It's either going
I
to be
don't
in
know
my
what that is,
trunk.
but I'm gonna look that up.
It's going to be in my trunk, or it's going to be in my belly button. One of the two.
Oh,
That's great.
Or one other place.
funny.
Your other trunk?
That's right. One of the trunks or my belly button.
Oh, that's what that is.
His other trunk by his junk.
Also,
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so 3 of you are leaving. Are you going invisible? Are you not going invisible? What's actually
let's not-
happening?
let's not split the party. Let's stay together.
And
Yeah,
everybody,
If we want to
I-
go together, that's
when-
fine.
When I went, I was able to get to the slums without seeing a guard. I don't think there's any possibility of even running into a guard on the river.
another thing though is you should everybody make sure you watch to see if anybody's watching us, because again I noticed somebody following me, a hooded figure.
Okay, we'll keep an eye out.
Yep.
Good.
Okay, so everyone is
Oh.
leaving together.
Yeah, let's
Is
do it.
anyone invisible?
I will cast. Oh, wait. I will cast invisibility. I'll use sorcery points to twin cast the spell and cast it on Dagger and Andros.
Who's
Okay.
going to be talking to these boatmen?
Who will? I will.
Dagger and Andros are invisible.
Yeah.
Okay, before they do that, before you talk to anyone, I'm going to cast guidance on you.
Guidance is only a minute.
I know.
Don't
so
cast any spells. If you cast a spell, you're not invisible
a
anymore.
cantrip?
Yes, that's a
Okay.
spell.
Then never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're leaving the tavern, and Dagger and Andros are invisible.
Yep.
The other four of you are visible, and you all leave as a group.
There's just 4 people leaving.
So it's 4 people leaving out the front door, or are you going a side door or a window?
Sneaky.
Maybe we should tell the bartender that we're just going to grab a bite to eat and we'll be right back.
He doesn't care where we go.
Okay.
Yeah, the room's paid already.
True.
We are going out at 9 though.
See ya. Peace, fuckers.
I'm being rude.
Okay, so Ziff, are you going out the front door or are you going out the window?
Sneaky.
Yeah, but which way are you going, Sneaky?
I guess the window? Is that what we're planning?
I don't
We're
know.
not
then
all going to
you're-
be able to...
Can I
So
fit
if
out the
you're in
window?
dark,
Yeah.
You're invisible. You're perfect.
Can I fit out
Oh
the
yeah,
window?
Yeah, I'll go out the window because I'm invisible.
Okay, you can make your stealth roll at advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out the window as well.
And we'll just meet you
can
guys
make your-
right out the door. Whatever you guys do, we meet back up right away.
Okay. Dagger can make his
meet
stealth
them?
roll at advantage.
I'll do whatever it takes to stay out of any kind of torchlight too.
Okay, so what are your rolls?
I got a 20.
Ooh.
Oh,
I
there
got a
you go, Ray.
26.
29, I think. I don't know. I haven't got my character sheet open.
Okay, so Ziff and Dagger go out the window, and do you like scale the side of the building, or how are you getting down from the second story?
Yeah, scale the side. I'm on Dagger's back, but he doesn't know it.
He doesn't know that you're on the invisible Dagger.
Yeah.
Is Dagger invisible?
Yep.
Dagger
and Andros.
But not Ziff.
Ziff though has the dark vision thing. Remember?
Yeah,
Right.
I'm
The
invisible
dark.
in the dark.
I'm Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, anybody with dark vision,
Yeah, and if you
Okay,
don't have dark
then-
vision, you can't see in the
then you
dark.
can't see you anyway. Yeah.
So Ziff and Dagger make an acrobatics check
Oh,
to find your way out the window and down to the ground.
Dagger has a natural climb speed though, so just Ziff would have to do it.
Yeah, I could just climb.
Okay.
I'm on his back. I got 20 total.
No, you're not on his back, but 20 gets you to the ground safely.
Yeah, you can't see me to get on my back.
I can hear you. Blind sense. I'm part bat.
Okay. How are the other
Hard batch.
3 of you, or I guess 4 of you? The other 4 of you are leaving out the front door.
Yeah, and I have my towel over me, so it's containing my maw and everything, trying to hide as much kobold as possible. I'm gonna have my tail, I'm gonna try to keep it under the robe and have it like curling around my leg.
Okay, but you're not in a disguise. You're just trying to stay hidden.
Trying to stay hidden in my so I don't look like I'm a kobold. Just look like I'm a small,
Okay.
like a gnome.
Okay, Varn, make a stealth check.
Oh, I love this dice so much. That is a 22.
Okay. You disguise yourself not to look like anything different, but just to make yourself inconspicuous. Kind of hood up, tail tucked in, and you kind of slip out without anyone causing a stir or noticing you. Andros, make an acrobatics check, because you are a large framed creature, invisible, but trying to navigate through a very busy tavern without accidentally bumping into someone.
Okay, so what do you want me to roll?
Acrobatics.
That is a 15.
Okay.
Nice.
You dodge and weave around the drunks at the bar and manage to slip past them without having any collisions. Orlear, what is your method of egress?
I like Barn will pull my hood up, and I'll pull my mask that I've been having in my pack, and I'll put it on and walk out.
Okay. Okay, you can make a stealth check. Kriv, what about you? Same thing?
No, I'm just gonna walk out like normal.
Okay. Orlear, what's your roll?
15.
Okay. Same like Varn, you're able to disguise yourself, not to the point of changing your appearance, but just to the point of hiding your features to be able to get past the drunks at the bar and manage to get outside with no question. Kriv, you exit the tavern. I'd like you to roll a perception check.
Okay. Uh, 13.
Okay, 13. You notice that there isn't anyone at the bar who notices people leaving, but the bartender kind of gives you a wave, an acknowledgement as you're leaving. Just the bartender kind of sees that you're leaving and kind of waves to you, a friendly kind of wave.
I give him a small salute and tip my head to him again. Back.
Okay. And then everyone who's outside now, is everyone outside? I cover everyone?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay, so everyone now who's outside can roll perception.
Now this dice fits. But
Visual only?
Yeah, visual only.
I got a dirty 20.
Got an 11.
I have an
21.
Oh, 21? Someone had a 21.
17 per Orlear.
Okay. Okay, so with 17, you can see from this location, just as you're exiting the tavern, that there are guards posted, 2 to each bridge. And they have both lanterns and torches and stuff. That the bridge is well lit. the guys who rolled like 20s can see that there's this hooded figure that's not close by, is way down the lane, but that he's got eyes on what's going on. The party members that are visible,
I'll
that he
whisper.
sees what's happening.
Yeah, I'll whisper in Criv's ear, saying there's a hooded guy, and I'll point, or I'll
He can't see you
I'll
pointing.
describe to him where I saw him.
Okay.
Okay.
If we go around a corner, maybe he'll follow.
Do you want to try to catch him?
I think we just need to make sure he's not following us. Maybe just
Okay.
ask him politely to not follow us.
Sure. Well, let's get those rafts first.
Sure.
It's this way, and I
Unless he-
guide them towards this.
Unless he sees us getting on rafts. That's what I'm worried about.
Here. You know how to get to the river from here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
How about I'll hang back in one of these alleys and meet up with you guys later, like 5 minutes later, and see if I can track him.
All right.
You
Try
want?
to make it look like you're doing something that might be suspicious, so they because they would already have their eyes on you for being the one of the people.
No, I'm straight up innocent in all of this. They don't know who I am.
But
don't-
you've been with us when we went through the checkpoint, so they know that you're that we're connected.
Yeah, but I'm not with you guys. I don't know. It'll be fine.
Ball will provide.
Okay, so you make your way down to the river's edge where you can hire some little ferry boats. Kriv, are you going down to the water, or are you going to kind of go off in a different direction?
I'm just going to kind of hang back from when everyone is like everyone's going down and out of the street. I'm just going to hang back a little bit and see if I can see anyone.
Okay. Oh, you never saw the figure before,
No, but
right?
I've
It
been
was
just-
Andros who told you.
I described a hooded
Okay,
figure.
so you make your own perception check with advantage because Andros told you which direction to look.
Okay. 16.
Okay, you can see the figure has his eyes on you and is watching you, and everyone else kind of makes their way down the street towards the river, but he stays watching you. But you can see him watching you, but you don't make it look like you see him watching you. You just kind of hang out in front of the tavern there. Maybe you pretend like you're having a smoke or something. You're just outside hanging out.
Okay,
And
I'm
he
going
seems-
to.
He seems to be watching you.
Okay, I'm going to hang out for a little bit, for like 5 minutes, and then kind of take like a more intricate path back to the boats.
You're going to try and lose him?
Yes.
Okay. So in that 5 minutes of time, everyone else gets down to the river and is able to hail individual ferry and pay their individual fee, and it's 10 silver to go upriver.
I'm going to give them a gold instead of a silver, just to show my appreciation.
Okay.
10 silver is 1 gold.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. Ugh. Well, it doesn't matter. It's just.
It's flashier though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also give a gold piece.
I
to
thought-
have him.
Yeah, I thought you meant you were going to tip him a gold, like in addition to the 1 gold.
So
Well, I'll do that too.
we're coming up to
There you go.
this boatman as invisible people.
No, you are, and Dagger is, but not Varn and Ziff and Orlear.
Right. So maybe we should just ask them to, no questions asked, paddle up with an empty raft. Couple empty rafts.
Okay, are you the one asking?
No, I'm asking that when we're going down there, thinking about this. And
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
when we get there, one of you visible folks should say this.
Okay, who's gonna be the mouthpiece?
That shouldn't be a problem. I can do that for you.
Make sure you find somebody who you think would be willing to, though. Don't just any boat's person.
Okay, so
We'll pay them the
Orlear,
money.
you're gonna pay for yourself and 2 empty rafts. You're gonna pay
Yep.
for 2 empty rafts, no questions asked, to just go upriver with you.
Yep.
Okay. Make 2 separate persuasion checks.
Lowest one is a 21. The highest is a 24.
Oh yeah.
Okay. They both they both say that's a pretty odd request, but if you're willing to pay, sure, we'll go upriver with you and accompanying you empty. I need Dagger and Andros to make stealth rolls to be able
Advantage from being
to
invisible.
board the ship or board the ferries without tipping off the fact that you're also on board.
I weigh 10 pounds. Do I get advantage?
Yes, you get advantage. You weigh 10 pounds.
I got a 19.
Okay.
I'm pretty light as well.
So I got an 18.
Technically, you both have advantage because you're invisible to make a stealth check.
That's true.
That's true. I got an 18.
Okay, 18 and 19 or more than 19 is enough to silently board their little ferry. Weighing 10 pounds isn't going to change, but Dagger, you weigh more than 10 pounds, and so as you're traveling, the person who is rowing or poling that ferry is going to feel the difference in the amount of weight that they're now pushing upriver. Make another stealth check.
I believe in you.
Uh, 21.
Okay, somehow you manage. Whether it's a matter of, the 2 ships going up side by side and you're kind of like straddling both ships and dispersing your weight amongst both of them, and maybe one of them feels like there's a little extra weight, but then you balance your weight onto the other one, and somehow you manage to figure out a way to go upriver, balancing on 2 ships to disperse your weight because the other one is a 10-pound Andros.
Okay.
So you guys are 5 minutes upriver when Kriv comes down to board a ship or a ferry, and there are still more ferries that you don't have trouble getting another ferry. Kriv, you board and I need you to make a stealth check at disadvantage to slip the to be able to lose the tail.
Okay, I already have disadvantage. Do I have to?
Well, then you don't suffer. You always roll a stealth at disadvantage. Then.
Okay.
You have inspiration. Use it now.
Oh.
Nope. I got a 3.
Okay, so you board the ship, and you pay the gold, the 10 silver to go upriver, and you start moving your way upriver.
Before I get on the boat, though, I want to pay the 10 silver and then give. And then walk up to the next guy beside him, or like the next one for hire, and give him 5 gold and say, if anyone is following me, do not offer them a ride.
You're going to pay him 5 silver to refuse the next person who asks him.
He said, gold.
Yeah, no, 5 gold.
Okay, you're going to pay him 5 gold to just stay put and refuse the next person who asks.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure, you can do that. You spend your money. And he's going to be like, oh, okay, and take your money. Make a persuasion check.
You're a paladin, so this should be good.
Persuasion check? Yeah.
Yeah, persuasion. See if how well. I know the money is one thing, but he could easily just take your money and not do what you say.
Yeah, I got a nat 1.
Okay, you don't know. I mean, you sail away, and you're not sure whether or not he's going to keep his word or whether he's just going to keep the money. We'll see. It depends on his alignment, which you are unaware of.
Okay.
Okay, so the 6 of you are rowing upriver or poling upriver in ferries, and that's where we're going to call it for tonight. 2 of you are invisible. All of you passed your stealth checks, and there may or may not be someone who is following.
I hope that person's part of Kriv's
Dun, dun,
order.
dun.
Cool. It's like Escape from New York, but it's Escape from Neverwinter.
Oh, I will say, I've been meaning to bring this up, but the water that flows through Neverwinter is actually quite warm. This river, and being that you've been down to the river now, and that you have, been at the boats and stuff, the river itself is actually quite warm as far as the water that flows through the river. It, Kriv might know, or Varn might know, in his history books as to the reasoning behind the heat of the water.
What I know is a local.
Due to the lava flow of Mount Hupnau, something underground heats this river and causes the surrounding area to have like a warmer temperature in the ground. Which is one of the reasons why the city is called Neverwinter, because none of the snow actually stays because of the heat of the river and the surrounding area. So even though it is cold outside and the snow is falling, none of the snow that falls actually stays on the ground. It all melts.
Imagine walking on the cobblestone during summer. It would be burning hot.
Cool. That was awesome, Jason.
Okay.
That was stressful.
Arn, what does your tattoo look like?
There's two tattoos. One of them is a very light blue, almost white, like a frosty blue, and the other one is a deep, like forest green. And they're both on my arms, and they're kind of like completely just like vines that are they're mirrored on either side, and they're just curling around. It's not just one vine; it's multiple vines that are curling around my arms.
Cool.
What about yourself?
Orlier has a picture of, or like the image of his magical candle that he found in the Sunless Citadel, and off of the flame of the candle like expands into smoke, and you can see a set of eyes inset into the smoke.
Very cool.
Sweet. We're tattoo buddies now.
Yeah.
And Dagger, what does your tattoo look like?
Tramp stamps.
I don't have a tattoo.
It looks like
Oh, that's right. You
I
rolled
look
yourself
like-
in.
I look like Sylvester now.
An old gray cat.
Except for the fact that the white dye that you used has
Sparkles.
has metallic flakes that have been mixed into it, and so now every
glitter
place
boy.
where you dyed white has like this glittery shine to it.
it's like an older cat where it has little gray hairs, but yeah.
You have fairy fire cast on you forever.
No, I don't think so.
On one raft, it's just an empty raft. You hear some snickering.
It's okay. You can't see Dagger because he's invisible as well.
Oh, I saw him in the room though. I'm
Yeah, that's
thinking
true. You
back.
would've.
It's a good thing he's invisible right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because the silver dye, I got message that it secretly got mixed in with the white dye.
How are we going to fuck this up next time?
Oh, don't worry about that.
Well, I know how.
We
the guards
will.
are going to see us, or the people on the boats are going to turn us in.
That'll be a problem
gonna be
from
like,
2 weeks from now.
Or it's going to be like a car chase with the cops and the city watch and another boat.
We live our lives
That's
a quarter
like
mile
that.
at a time.
White sparkle gloves.
You belong in that Cats theater. That play.
In the movie Cats.
Fuck you.
Okay, inspiration goes to Orlear tonight.
Yeah.
Kind of helming the coordinating all the things and dodging all the guards and all the questions and role-playing through all the markets.
Thank you for that, because
I thought we were going to be
Good.
playing a courtroom drama tonight.
Yeah, I might need that point of inspiration for that.
I didn't know how to get us out of that situation.
It's almost like an
Yeah,
Orlear.
it could have gone there. It was that close.
It was almost the Orlear dynasty.
Oh my gosh. You bastard.
Yeah, shouldn't have gone there. Don't go there. Yeah.
None of your clothing that was bought has any markings that you can see.
What?
I was just pissing you off with you. I said none of the clothing I bought has any markings that you can see.
Oh yeah. Is it full of like mice patterns on the inside?
This is
No.
weird.
Big skid mark on the back, though.
We're never
Uh,
Neverwinter.
not that you could see your butt, anyway.
I've never seen my butt. I can't twist around that far.
No.
Although my trunk might be able to make it. I might.
Yeah, you can sniff it.
I probably wipe my ass with my trunk. It's the only thing that can reach over there.
Oh, so you'll be smelling your ass every time you do that. Make sure you wipe.
Well, I know when it's clean then.
You do an advantage smell check.
Well, it might get painful with that new earring or nose ring.
Yeah, you're gonna want that healed up properly.
You start sniffing your ass and then it gets stuck.
Yeah. You know what I find funny though is I weigh 10 pounds, but as soon as I take a shit, the shit goes from like light to heavy as soon as it hits the ground.
As soon as it leaves your ass,
It leaves my
accelerates.
I love how that you thought about that.
Yeah, me too.
You gotta
10
understand
10
shit
pounds
physics.
fit in a 5-pound bag.
Thanks for listening to Perilous Pursuits. Be sure to check out our website at perilouspursuits.com for new episodes, news, and other information. In the meantime, go take your hook horror for a walk, give your homunculus a big hug, and go play some D&D.